Good morning. Back with a couple bills. What's the matter, you little crazy rabbit? Holy crap! It came out like a holy shit. This dog. I get locked up. They won't give me a strike if I sing, cause I'm doing a cover. No. What that? Oh, what that? Crazy. There's a lot of dogs there. Good morning, good morning. It's not like you got a bath, but I don't think you did. Forgot about me. Getting empty. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody? Just got back from Pittsburgh last night at midnight. That was a fun ride in the dark. Holy ish. Holy ish. It was a long ride. A long ride. Holy crap. Well, we weren't in Pittsburgh. We were like about 10 minutes out of Pittsburgh. It was actually the first time like I seen the city of Pittsburgh. And God, they have a lot of bridges there. Holy shit. I thought New York had a lot of bridges. Nope. Pittsburgh. We ain't got shit on Pittsburgh. Holy shit. Holy shit. They got a lot of bridges in Pittsburgh. I mean, there's like bridge after bridge after bridge after bridge after bridge. I was like, what the hell is going on here? But yeah, that was quite an adventure. We left yesterday around, I'm trying to think, maybe like four, three, something like that. My son's last game was late, and we didn't get out of there until about 3 or 4 o'clock, and it was a ride. It felt like we were driving to nowhere in the darkness for about 4 hours, 5 hours. I forgot like the rest of the country. Whoa, what's going on over here? The rest of the country don't have like lights like they do here. Like we're so used to having like, dude, there's like lights on our highways and every road has lights. A lot of America don't have that. I'm not saying all of America. I'm just saying a lot of America, they don't got lights. And it was dark as fuck. It was dark. Felt like you were driving into nothing. You can't see anything around you. And then there's these big trucks on the road. I was having a heart attack the whole time because I can't, the trucks give me anxiety. The tractor trailers. Because here on Long Island, I'm pretty sure it's a New York State thing. The trucks are not allowed to go into the left lane, like on the highway. So, like, not even a like pass. They're just not allowed in the left lane. If they want to pass, they could use the middle lane, but they're not allowed to go in the left lane. So, like, seeing trucks in the left lane and they're like weaving in and out of traffic, like that shit gives me anxiety because I'm not used to it. I don't know about like upstate. I know here they're not allowed in the left lane. They're not allowed on certain parkways. And oh my God, I was having a little bit of a heart attack. So I was like trying not to like look up at the road. So my husband, I mean, he was driving for hours. He was like weaving in and out of traffic. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm never gonna make it home. We're gonna go off the side of a mountain. It was not fun. Not fun. Once we got to like the George Washington Bridge, I was like, okay, I feel better. But then that's not much better because everybody drives like assholes in New York, you know? They're like doing like 90. Oh my God. Oh my God. It was just terrible. It was just terrible. So yeah, we got home at midnight. And then I brought my son into school a little late today because they have this like testing and we opt out of it. What are you crying about, dude? I hear you. What's the matter? Um, I opt out of the testing. It's like some state testing, but I don't know. I don't even really fully understand it. The kids don't get graded on it. So what's the matter, bro? What are you crying? What? You hear him? Your little bird whistle? Come here. What's the matter? Why are you crying? Don't cry. So anyway, that was my weekend. Big fun. Um, I caught a little bit of the drama going down on Saturday, but Is everybody ready for the eclipse? I don't have eclipse glasses, and apparently, like, nobody has them. So I was looking up online yesterday because I was telling my husband, I'm like, if you go anywhere tomorrow and you see eclipse glasses, you better buy me a pair. And he's like, he like never seems like, use my welding shield. And I was like, dude, I don't know if that's like enough. So I looked it up. I didn't actually look that up. I just looked up like what could you use as glasses for eclipse if you don't have the like actual glasses. And so if your husband has a welding helmet, it can't be welding goggles like the regular ones, and it can't be I mean, most people aren't going to have the kind of welding helmets my husband has because his are like professional grade. But I heard they sell them at Tractor Supply. But I mean, you're talking spending about $70 or more on a welding helmet. But it has shades on it, right? So it has to be shade 12 and above. So if you don't have glasses and your husband has a welding helmet, just make sure that it's 12 and above, and then you could look at the eclipse. 12 and above, just make sure, because some of them are like only 9, some of them are 10. Make sure it's 12 and above. But they said that that's probably not the most ideal way to look at the eclipse, because what happens is if you go to 12 or higher than 12, like 14, let's say, it might, like my husband's helmet automatically adjusts. So if it goes to 14, it might be too dark for you to see. I don't know how they see through those things. I've put his welding helmet on before, and I'm like, how do you know what you're doing? I don't know how people weld, because I'm terrified of the sparks that fly out. So I don't know how he does it. Like, he like doesn't even flinch. But I guess it's the same way. Like, I guess you get like trained, because my husband, even at hockey, like if we're standing around the rink, and even when I'm behind the glass and I know that a puck is not going to hit me, I still duck out of the way when I see it flying. And it's so funny because you could always tell who actually plays hockey and who doesn't, because the people that play hockey, they don't move when they see the puck flying towards the glass. It's like they're trained, their brains are trained to like know that, like, whatever, it's a puck flying at me. But, like the people that don't play, even though the glass is there, you still duck out of the way. I don't give a shit. So I guess it's kind of like the same training that your brain does for welding when there's sparks flying out. I mean, my husband's gone on fire like several times. He has come home with huge holes in his jacket and everything. I'm like, what happened to you today? He's like, I went on fire today. I'm like, that's great. That's just great there, Michael Jackson. Great news. Good morning, bleach head Betty. Anyway, so yeah, so that's my little spiel on the eclipse. My son's school, they're keeping them like at school today, and then they all got glasses. I'm like, that's pretty cool. Like, I don't know. So anyway, back to the bullshit from this weekend. I caught a little on Saturday because my son, he had 6 games on Saturday. 6 games on Saturday. So there was a lot of time. So I was like chilling in my car, because most of like, I don't know, roller hockey and ice hockey is a little bit different. So for roller hockey, it's like mostly the dads go, like not a lot of the moms go. And, I mean, I could only stand there and watch so many fucking hockey games. So I sat in my car, because the rink we were at, it was like it's hard to explain. It was not an indoor rink. It was like, it was inside. It was in a building, but like picture like like those metal buildings that have like the corrugated, metal. It was like that, but there was like no walls. There was walls on some parts, but then there was like this, those like plastic curtains that are in like the back of like a supermarket. I don't know how many people have ever been in the back of a supermarket. I have, because my dad had a route, and I used to go with him. And dude, I've been in some disgusting fucking supermarkets in Queens, dude. Oh my God. I will never live in the city, because I would not eat food if I lived in the city, because after seeing the supermarkets in the city, we used to have to like wipe mouse shit off the shelves to put our shit down. Yeah, I'm good on that. But yeah, in most supermarkets have like these big kind of thick plastic vertical, they almost look like vertical blinds, most of them have that in the back room, I guess, so bugs and whatever don't get in. I don't know. Although the bugs get in, they get in. But I guess, to minimize it, I don't know. But that's basically what was around this building. So when we got to Pittsburgh on Friday, well, Friday he didn't have games. Saturday, it was fucking freezing there. I was not prepared. So I was like sitting in my car, like in between every game because I was freezing. I had a pair of jeans on. Normally like when we go to roller hockey, I'm warm, but why does the road look red over here? Ovi, what are you crying about, dude? What's the matter? We're gonna be home in a couple minutes. What do you call it? It's usually warm in the roller hockey room, so like I didn't pack appropriately. So yeah, I was freezing the whole day Saturday. I was freezing. I didn't bring my ice hockey attire with me, which is like 10 layers of pants and everything. And jeans just don't cut it. They just don't when it's cold. But anyway, so I caught a little bit of the shit show that was going on Saturday. Was it Saturday? Between Laura and Tiffany. And Laura, really, girl? Did you not know that shit was going to happen? Come on now. Come on now. I called it, okay? If you go back to my last live, which was whatever day it was, I called that shit. I was like, dude, Tiffany is not going to be happy about this shit. I know how Tiffany is, okay? I was friends with both of them, both her and Laura, okay? Now, I'm a little shocked, shall I say, at some of the people that were in Tiffany's chat. And like, you know what I'm saying? But in my opinion, okay, in my humble opinion, I feel like they're both equally as shitty, to each other. Like there's no side for me to pick in that situation. I don't care for either one of them. I'm trying to be PC here because it's just them. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care for either one of them. So there's no side in that. First of all, here's my thing. All right. Let me give my little spiel here. I can't really see you guys in the chat, so forgive me. Look, I don't like Laura, and I think Laura does terrible things on here and says a lot of horrible things. But Tiffany says and does equally as horrible shit. Maybe not with the frequency that Laura does, right? But I think that it's pretty even there, okay? As far as evil intent goes. So for me, there's no side in that, right? But here's my problem, okay? And I'm not sticking up for Laura. So if anybody takes this as I'm sticking up for Laura, I'm just speaking as an outsider on what I observed and how full of shit people could be, okay? Tiffany claims, and I saw Alicia in here. I don't know if she's still in here, but Tiffany. Look, I just got to preface this with, I was friends with both of these ladies, okay, at one point in time. I'm embarrassed to admit that, but it's the truth, okay. And I think out of a lot of people on YouTube, I probably know them better than most people. I seen people in Laura's comments the other day somewhere going, "Oh, MM must have been telling the truth about Tiffany questioning Laura's cancer diagnosis." Well, yeah, yes, the fuck. Because guess what? Why would I make that up? Like, I have no fucking reason to come on here and lie about shit like that. I have nothing to gain by doing that, okay? Except for if I lie, the only thing I have to gain is fucking up my own credibility. So why would I come on here and be like, yeah, like just blatantly make shit up for no reason? I told you I wasn't lying. I knew that Tiffany had been questioning Laura's diagnosis for a while prior to this, okay? I never said who she said it to, although the person, thinks they know, which is fine. But I never fucking said who said it or who told me that. I just said that I fucking heard. I heard that that's what happened, okay? Here's my thing, all right? Tiffany, I don't believe again, I know these people and I know how Tiffany operates and I know how Laura operates. And I got to be quite honest with you. Neither one of those girls really cares about anybody else but themselves. Okay. Tiffany definitely puts on a little better of a show as far as being empathetic and being a, caring friend goes. I will say that. I will agree with that. Okay. But the reality is, when it comes down to it, neither one of them truly gives a shit about other human beings. When it comes down to it, they're going to save their own asses, right? Do I believe that Tiffany got so upset with Laura because of the way she was speaking about Alicia? No, I don't. Sorry. I just don't buy it. Again, I was friends with these girls and I know how they operate. In my opinion, and I could be wrong, okay, she could care, but I just know her too well to believe that. In my opinion, okay, she's using Alicia's diagnosis and that whole thing, and she probably got mad at Laura for something else, but didn't want to say anything. You know what I'm saying? So she used Alicia's diagnosis as the reason why she got mad. And if I had to guess, there could be a variety of reasons why Tiffany would have already been mad at Laura prior to Alicia, the whole thing with Alicia. And here's some examples, right? Laura was talking to Molly Golightly again. That alone could have been a reason for Tiffany to be mad at Laura. Okay. Laura was probably going in chats of people that Tiffany didn't like, and talking to people that Tiffany didn't like. And then I personally think she used Alicia's diagnosis as, because Tiffany will do anything to make herself look like, the caring, empathetic savior who comes in to rescue the day, the moral authority. Oh my God, how could you do that? No, girl. We those of us who know you, we see right through that shit. Okay, Tiffany, I see right through you on that one. Now, here's the big thing, okay? If she was so fucking mad about what Laura was doing to Alicia, right? If it was so upsetting, why would you get up on a live stream and do the same fucking thing that you were allegedly so upset about to somebody else? Now, mind you, this is just my opinion here. Like, don't count Alicia in here. Don't go for Alicia. This is my opinion. Again, I was friends with these people. TM promised. Yeah, well, she failed on that one because it was a big old fucking waste of time, nothing burger. But, you know what I'm saying? Look, dude, Laura's journey, and again, I'm not sticking up for Laura. I'm just fucking an outsider looking in here, just like the rest of you guys. I mean, I did have the popcorn out, and you fucking lying. I had the popcorn out, and I was like, oh shit, what's going on? But yeah, I will admit, look, Laura's cancer journey has been odd at best, okay? It's been odd at best. And a lot of people have questioned her. I'm not saying Tiffany's wrong for questioning her. I myself questioned her, okay? Because let's just be honest. Let's fucking be honest. I like to be honest here. When Laura first got diagnosed, I was like, girl. I mean, come on, dude. I mean, look, coincidences happen. But I was like, that's a fucking coincidence. Is a whole coincidence. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you fucking... Alicia gets diagnosed, and like legit a day later, a couple of days later, Laura's diagnosed. She got her results back super quick. And again, I had two parents that had cancer. I never seen results come back that quick for fucking anything. Because doctors suck. They take forever. So I was like, all right, dude, like, all right, But I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt, through the whole thing. I listened to her video where she had a phone call with a doctor and shit. And then again, I know Laura and I know Tiffany. Does Laura have a tendency to lie and do stupid shit for money? Yeah, she definitely does. You know what I'm saying? Laura's definitely a money pimp. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she'll do anything for money, Do I think Laura would lie about having cancer for money? I mean, you got to look at the whole picture, right? Laura is very worried about what people think about her, although she tries to pretend that she's not. You don't go making all these weird little shorts like, hey, my fucking haters, like with these fucking weird voices and shit. Like, I'm gonna go on, like you don't fucking do that unless you like actually give a fuck with these people thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, she does it a lot, dude. She does a lot. Like, once in a while, fine, but like, she's constantly making these things. Like, she really cares what people think about her. Or those, again, she tries to pretend like she doesn't give a fuck, but she actually does. You know, um, I the other thing is that Laura depends on this shit, this shithole for like survival, dude. Like, it's her whole being is here. Her friends, uh, people like the funniest shit I see in Laura's comments is like they're like, Laura's got a real friend, one friend, dude, one friend she brought like in like how many years? They're like, she's got real life friends. All right, first of all, bro, that's plural. Okay, when you put an S on the back of a word, that's plural. That means multiple. Okay, more than one, shall we say? Yeah, she had one friend. Wow, golf claps for that. But all right, most of her social life is on YouTube. You know, uh, and then her job, her livelihood, her money is completely dependent on this place. So, shyster, that's a good word, CK. That's a good word. Yeah, so most of her existence here, both socially and how the fuck is my phone almost dying again? This piece of shit. I don't think I charged it last night. Hold on a second. We're almost home, bro. We're almost home. I said that like 20 minutes ago, but I swear to God this time. I took the slow boat to China here. Going home. Anyway, I have to, I drove through my old neighborhood. I always have to when I go pick the dog up from the places. It's like nostalgia. Anyway, so, all right. So Laura fucking depends on this place, right? Do I think that Laura would risk lying about cancer, to be on this platform, on this platform? I mean, do I think she would risk what little fucking respect she has from people, and her livelihood and all that, lying about cancer? I want to fucking say no, dude. I want to say no. Do I think she would go get tattoos and fucking cold caps and all this shit just to try to make it look like she had cancer? I don't think so, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now, has her look, bro, I've questioned things too, but you got to understand, again, I was friends with Laura, and everything in Laura's life goes differently than it does for normal people. Like, you just have to understand that, okay? So, like, you can never be like, well, that's, my aunt and my cousin and my sister all had breast cancer, and like, that's not how their journey went. Well, that's because Laura's life is on another planet, and everything she does just never fucking lines up with like the way normal people do it. Like, for instance, like I told Laura back in the day where I was telling her about, just trying to save some money and shit, not like physically save it, like trying to like not spend as much kind of saving. I was like, I go do like, I get like all my basics, okay, at like Walmart and Target. At the time, Target was, reasonably priced, not so much anymore. But I mean, they were competitively priced. Where the fuck are you going, dude? What are you doing? All right, sorry. Like their products were reasonably competitively priced with Walmart. I don't know about nowadays. And I told Laura that I said, I try to get like snacks and drinks and shit like that, paper plates, all that shit at Target and Walmart. And then like when I'm doing my actual food shopping for like meat and all that shit, I go to the supermarket. The things that I can't get at Walmart, I get at the supermarket, and it kind of saves me some money. And she's like, well, not at my Target. And I'm like, really, Laura? Like, your Walmart and your Target are not cheaper than the supermarket? Because, like, I don't know. I think that's pretty consistent anywhere. Like, I think that's what keeps Walmart, especially in business, is that the prices are a lot better than they would be at a supermarket. I mean, shit, if I had one of them nice Walmarts with the, groceries and shit, I would be doing all my food shopping there to save money. But anyway, she's like, of course, everything's different in her world. Even when she had that thyroid problem, supposedly, allegedly, I'm asking her questions and I'm like, dude, there's a standard procedure that you have to go through when they discover a noid, as Laura said, she used to call it a noid, a nodule on your thyroid. Okay, first things first, they're gonna give you a blood test, obviously, but they're gonna do a sonogram, and they're gonna measure it. Okay, and then once they measure it, then from that point on, they're gonna determine whether they need to do a biopsy or not. Because if it's over, I think, a centimeter, they'll do a biopsy. I was looking back at my report. I actually have two nodules on my thyroid. I thought I only had the one, but I actually have two. Anyway, so so yeah, so then they if it's over a centimeter, they do a biopsy, and then you'll have to just go in, basically, if there's nothing wrong with you, which thank God there wasn't for me. I didn't have thyroid cancer. But after that, they'll just have you come in yearly for, or whatever it is, for a sonogram, just to make sure it didn't grow anymore. They keep an eye on it, and then blood tests, yearly, or whatever it is, blood tests of, to check your thyroid levels. Well, of course, in Laura's world, it went completely different, and she didn't have any answers. She didn't even know if she had a blood test. I was like, dude, did you have a blood test? Like, did they test your TSH levels? And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, how do you not know if you had a blood test, Laura? Like, they have to stick a needle in your arm. Like, it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, how can you not fucking know that? Like, whether you did it in the doctor's office or at a lab, like, I just couldn't understand how she didn't know the answer to whether she had a blood test or not. I'm like, dude, like, seriously? I'm like, you have to go and, like, I mean, it's pretty, I don't want to say traumatic, but, like, for me it is, because I fucking hate needles. It's like, dude, how would you not know if you had a blood test? Like, that doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense. But she didn't know. She didn't know she had a blood test. And I'm like, of course, in Laura's world, everything's, completely different. So yeah, has her cancer journey been a little questionable? Like, Laura just went into her doctor's the other day, apparently, and was like, listen, here's some paperwork that I found on Google. I'm done doing chemo. And they were just like, yeah, no problem. Like, I don't know about that. They probably made her sign some shit, for refusing treatment, because that's what it is at that point in time. They suggest the treatment, and they don't want to be held liable, if you decide against doing your treatment. They don't want to be held liable for that. I mean, I highly doubt her doctors were like, oh, you brought Google articles in? Great. Here. Yeah, you're right. You know what? We're going to change protocol around here. Like, come on, Laura, dude. And people are congratulating her. And look, it's her body and shit. Like, I can't make that decision. It's up to her. I don't understand her logic, though, because she had a lot of excuses as to why she was quitting. It was like, oh, well, I'm quitting because of this. I'm quitting because of that. I'm quitting because, I don't feel good. My body's rejecting it. But then at the same time, she's like, my numbers are great. I'm like, what? Like, it don't make sense, but I wouldn't expect it to, because it's Laura's world, and we're just living in it. I mean, I wouldn't expect anything that comes out of her to make any type of fucking sense, She's like, my numbers are great. Well, if your numbers were great, dude, like, I don't know, then you shouldn't be, your body clearly isn't rejecting it. It's actually probably responding well. Like, I saw Alicia's numbers while she was going through it, and her fucking, like, white blood cells were, all fucked up. Like, I don't know. But hey, do you, girl? I had lung and liver damage, fucked up numbers, and still went through with it. Well, you know what, Alicia, you're the true, in my heart, and I'm not just saying this because I'm friends with you. I'm saying it because it's just the truth. You're the true warrior. You got through the entire treatment, which I ain't saying is easy, dude. Like, I ain't saying Laura's wrong or whatever. It's her life and her body and her decision. I'm just saying that, like, her logic, for her reasoning for it, just didn't make any type of sense to me. But, I personally feel, and I could be wrong, it's my personal opinion, I feel that Laura was not liking the, obviously, the sickness that you feel, but I think she could have dealt with that, because I know that the symptoms of that are manageable. Although, for some people, for most people, if you're healthy otherwise during chemo, you should be able to manage your nausea and all that other shit. They give you medication for that, your pain, your nausea, whatever you're going through, but I think it's more of a vanity thing. I think that she doesn't want to lose her hair. I think that it's more about the vanity, gaining weight, uh, whatever, the swelling. I've heard her say several times that she hasn't taken her prednisone, and I'm like, Laura, that's really stupid, dude. Like, the prednisone is there to help you with any inflammation that you're having. I mean, I don't know. I think it's because she lacks an understanding of like medicine and you know what I'm saying? And how our bodies work. I think that that's part of the problem, is that she doesn't understand that, like, yeah, you might swell up with the medication, but it's temporary. But it's there to help you. It's going to help you with a lot of different things. It's, going to stop what prednisone does is it stops your body's immune response, basically, so to lessen down the inflammation, because that's what causes inflammation, is when your body like sees something, attacks it, and it becomes inflamed. Your immune response is what causes the inflammation. If you stop the immune response, the inflammation won't be as much. But she don't seem to understand that. But I see people congratulating her, like, oh, congrats. And I'm like, but she didn't really complete it. Like, I don't know, whatever. It's her body again, and it's her choice. So, like, do what you got to do. I don't know. I never been through chemo myself, so I can't say how I'd feel. I was just kind of surprised, because I was like, dude, if it's one more treatment, like, honestly, it's kind of infuriating to listen to her say this. I will say that. It was fucking infuriating to hear her say this. She's like, well, if it comes back, oh, well, it was meant to be. And I'm like, Laura, dude, I don't think you've ever seen anybody die from cancer. Dude, like that pisses me off to hear somebody say that. Like, if it comes back, oh, well, it was meant to be. Laura, no, dude, it's not fucking meant to be. Okay. And I don't know if you've ever watched somebody fucking die from cancer, but it is not a pleasant experience. Okay. You're not just going to drop dead one day. It's going to be a slow, very painful, very horrible death where you're not going to be able to fucking breathe. I mean, not to get too graphic, sorry if I'm triggering anybody, but I've watched 3 people, but mainly 2, my parents, okay, die from cancer. There is nothing about that looks like the way I want to die. I would rather just get hit by a fucking bus and have it over with, okay? You're talking a very slow, very, very painful, very uncomfortable death, okay? And not only uncomfortable for you, but for the people around you that have to sit there and watch you suffer. So if that one more treatment could help, why not just push through it, dude? You only have one. My mom would have given anything to be able to, be told, hey, Carol, you only have 4 treatments and you're going to live. My mom would have fucking gave anything for that. I mean, you don't know how lucky you are to only have to have the 4 treatments. So that's how I look at it. Cause I'm like, you sound like an entitled, spoiled brat, Laura, like with this, like your life ain't no shit to fuck around with. You have children and you don't want to put your children through that, man. I'm a daughter of a mother who I had to watch die, dude. And it ain't fun. So I don't know. To say that it was meant to be, I don't know, Laura. I don't know if you're going to be saying that. And, God forbid it comes back. Because when it does come back, it's going to come with a vengeance. You know that, right? And it ain't going to be pretty. I mean, to hear somebody say that, that's infuriating to me. To somebody who my mom didn't have a chance, dude. My mom didn't have that opportunity to fucking, or my dad. Neither one of them had that opportunity to save their own lives, But look, that's her decision at the end of the day. She showed her port when, like, I don't fucking care, dude. I don't care about Laura's port. I hope to God she's not lying. I really don't think she would. So, all right. So back to the whole thing. Tiffany's claiming that she was so upset because of the way Laura called Alicia out. Like, I was upset, but I'm actually friends with Alicia. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying her and Tiffany aren't friends, but I don't think they are as close of friends as I am with her, for as long. And yeah, it was fucking infuriating. Um, there was a little difference there. I felt like, Alicia was not here starting dumpster fires everywhere while she was going through this shit. She literally came back here and was kind of trying to just show people her journey. And, there's just assholes, like Tracy and them, who just wanted to attack her. Like, she posted a video from the chemo uh, treatment center, right? And I think she showed somebody, and they had a fucking meltdown over this shit. But Laura just posted a video doing the same fucking thing where I could clearly see other patients in the background, and they don't say a fucking word, dude. They don't say a fucking word. And to be honest, if I was one of those patients or one of those people's families' patients, I'd be like, get that shit off the internet, please. But anyway, back to Tiffany. So Tiffany's calling Laura out because the reality is Tiffany just didn't believe Laura for a while, and I said this a while back, and all Laura's people thought I was fucking lying. They were calling me a liar, and I was like, okay, I seen the proof. I'm not gonna show it on here, but I seen it, and you're just gonna have to take my word for it. Well, guess what? I wasn't lying, was I? Wasn't lying. I knew she was questioning the shit. Okay. So that's the truth. She was questioning, which I'm not blaming her for questioning, but I think what she did the other day, to be quite honest with you, was pretty disgusting. She got up on her live stream. She's like, Laura's faking chemo. Laura, you've been talking about cold capping. And I'm like, dude, I looked it up the other day. Okay. There is no other reason to cold cap. There's no other medical uses for it except, okay, and I went on the website of the penguin cold capping thing. There's no other reason to be doing that except for migraines. They said that it might help with migraines or what do you call it? Like swelling after like a surgery, okay? There's no other reason somebody would be doing that. I've seen alopecia, but it's cancer-related alopecia. What people don't understand is that alopecia is just like a general medical term for hair loss, okay? Like I guess kind of unexplained hair loss. But there's many different types of alopecia. And it can be caused by many different things. So yeah, it did say cancer, cancer, whatever, induced alopecia. That's a thing. But I don't know what the fuck she's like, Laura's been talking about cold caps for 20 years. And I'm like, dude, I've never heard Laura like Tiffany. Here's the thing. You don't have to lie about Laura to like get at Laura. Laura does enough stupid shit on here that you could use. Like lying about her is just fucking stupid, to be quite honest with you. You don't have to lie about her to call her ass out. Which is exactly what you did. Laura has not been talking about cold capping for 20 years. I think I would have heard her say it before at some point in time. I mean, shit, I don't listen to every stream, but I have never even fucking heard of cold capping until Laura brought it up, or Alicia. I'm like, why? Laura's never fucking talked about cold capping. Tiffany, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Girl, stop lying, okay? The other thing is, there's no one, like, look, dude, she put a video up of her daughter in clearly a doctor's office, okay, with the cold capping shit. What other reason would she be doing that? I don't know. I don't. Unless, like, somebody else is sitting in that chair, it's one of their friends or something. Stop. Oh, my God. It's crazy right now. Unless it's somebody else, I don't know any other reason Laura would be sitting in a fucking doctor's office with her daughter doing cold capping. I mean, look, I could be wrong. I'm personally shocked that Laura hasn't jumped at the chance to prove Tiffany wrong. And it does make me side eye her a little, but look, dude, I honestly don't fucking care. Cause guess what? I ain't giving Laura money. If you're dumb enough to give her money, that's on you. Sorry. But somebody who's got a proven track record of not being the most honest on here when it comes to shit, if you're dishing money out, like especially the person that gave her the money for the cold capping, that all she did was ungratefully complain about it, that's on you, man. That's on you. That microwave in the picture of the doctor's office really triggered. She's like, yeah, when have you ever seen a microwave at a doctor's office? I'm like, Tiffany, when have you ever been in a treatment center for chemo? You know what I'm saying? Like, holy shit. I didn't even see a microwave, to be quite honest, because I really didn't study the picture all that much. But I mean, come on, Tiffany. Like, come on, dude. Laura's lying. Dude, there's enough shit that Laura's done on here to call her ass out for. You don't have to fucking lie, okay? And make shit up. Because not that you have any credibility to begin with, Tiffany. I mean, let's just be fucking honest. But you don't have to make shit up to call her ass out. Laura has absolutely no self-awareness. No, zero self-awareness. 100%. She's in a battle. She quits. She don't value her life. Only being sick to get money. I don't know, dude. You could see the staff in the cancer center working in the background. Like, yeah, dude. Like, look, could Laura be sitting there and she's really like sitting in the chair next to somebody who's getting a treatment? I don't know, dude. You know what I'm saying? Anything's possible. But here's my thing. I don't need to see proof of Laura's cancer. I don't fucking care either way, in that way, in that sense. If she's lying, okay, I look at it like this, kind of the same way I looked at Diane. Okay. If she's lying, it'll eventually show itself. You can't get away with shit like that, dude. You just can't. The universe, won't allow it. And the other thing was Tiffany that I thought was disgusting that she was saying the other day was that, is this her karma for going after Alicia? Like, bro, come on. And again, I'm not standing up for Laura because I think they're both equally as fucked up as each other, and I know that Laura, if the tables are turned, Laura would do the same thing because she did the same thing. She did it to Alicia, she did the same fucking thing to Alicia. And so is Laura getting her karma in that sense, where she attacked somebody and called them a liar and a fucking hypochondriac and all this shit, and she's getting it back from somebody else? Yeah. But she kind of asked for this shit, though. That's the thing. Laura invited the karma into her life by speaking on Denny Keys. Oh, my God. Like, when I heard that clip, I think the Clipper channel clip, I was like, Laura, are you fucking stupid? Tiffany does not like when anybody, like, if there is one thing I know about Tiffany, okay, it is that she does not fucking like when other people speak for her. Like, not at all, dude. She does not fucking like when other people speak, not just for her, but about her, unless it's in like a positive light. Tiffany is so amazing. Tiffany is a queen. Tiffany has got the prettiest feet. That's the only type of shit she likes to hear about herself. But like there was times I remember when we were friends, Laura would, and I didn't personally like it too. And Laura has a habit of doing that shit. She has no impulse control whatsoever. And she kind of has a habit of like just saying things without thinking prior. So like there was a lot of times where she would do this fucking bullshit where she'd be like, well, me make a mobster. And she would rope me in, right? And I'd be like, Laura, that's not exactly what I said. Like she would speak for me, or she would connect something that happened to me. You know what I'm saying? And I'd be like, no, that's not how it went, Laura. Like she used my name for credibility. She would like be like, well, even make a mobster thing. So you guys see her doing it all the time, right? She always tries to use various people for credibility. So she would constantly use my name for credibility. She would attach herself to me like a fucking parasite and be like, even make a mobster things. So, she would do that to Tiffany, and Tiffany would lose her ever loving fucking mind when Laura used to do that shit. I would just be like, oh, like, Laura, why do you have to fucking do that? But Tiffany would lose her fucking mind. There'd be texts or whatever, messages. Laura, please don't speak for me. I mean, just going off. TM saying she has no super chats on and no memberships on her channel. She will drag Laura for free. That's bullshit because her Cash App link was dropped a lot. Was it? I wasn't watching her chat. I didn't really see her chat. I saw a couple of people in there that I was just like, all right, dude, like, okay, careful with that one. You know, I'm just putting the fucking general warning out there to any other creators. Okay, just fucking be careful with that one if you get in DMs with her. Like, I ain't saying don't talk to her. I ain't saying none of that because you're a grown ass adult. You make your own fucking choices. But I will say, just be careful getting in DMs with that one. Very careful. She said you stopped talking to me because I was lying about my breast cancer. Who said that? Wait. Who said I stopped talking to you about your breast cancer? Who said that? Fucking idiot. Definitely a microwave. There was some kind of food on top of it. Well, I mean, look, dude, I don't see why there can't be a microwave in a cancer center. All I know is that, look, I will never hate Tiffany enough, or I'm sorry, Laura enough to like join forces with Tiffany. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, like both of those people are completely toxic, evil fucking entities. I don't even want to say people. Come on, Ovi. You know, so like those two people are two people I just do not want anything to do with in terms of friendship ever again in my life. I don't give a fuck who they're dragging. I don't care who they're fighting with. Okay. No thanks. No thanks. Oh, Laura said that I stopped talking to you. That's so funny. Oh yeah, I kind of remember that. Now that you're saying that, I kind of remember her saying that. Yeah, I remember that. She was like, "Oh, even make a mobster stop talking to her." I was like, "Dude, what are you talking about?" Me and Alicia have been talking since 2019, I think, right? I think we first started emailing. It's funny, actually. I was looking for something in my email the other day, and up came old fucking email from Alicia, and it was from 2019, and that was the first time we were, chatting back and forth with each other, and then I didn't talk to her for a little bit, like during that time. It's not like we didn't have a fight or anything. I think she had broken up with MGL and then went back to her for a little bit. We didn't really talk much during that like short period of time. And then we started talking again and we've been talking ever since. Like, I don't like without like a break really. Like it's not like we talk every single day, but like we do text pretty often with each other. I mean, I would say she's one of the people that I, keep up with on here, like friendship wise, on like at least a weekly basis. We talk a lot. I mean, and we have for years. I can't stand the women, but not enough to sell my integrity to hang in TM's chats just to shit talk Laura. Nope, not gonna happen. Well, that's how I feel, B first. Like Laura's an asshole and I can't stand her, but I also can't stand Tiffany. This reminds me of back in the day, when who was it? I think Laura and MGL started fighting. So like all the ponies, I'll say, okay, not just them, but like the Diane crew, I'll say, right? People hung in Diane's chats. It made no sense to me. And I'm sorry if this pisses anybody off. Oh, it is what it is. You guys know how I am. I don't care. But I'm just speaking the truth. I mean, this is what happened. Everybody got mad at Laura, right? Because she started talking to MGL. Everybody got mad at Laura. They were like, fuck Laura, because like, I guess in a sense, right? I mean, just to call a spade, we all fucking kind of hate bonded over our fucking dislike for Molly Golightly. I mean, that's pretty much how I met everybody. Diane, fucking Brian, who else? All those people, right? It was like through the Chris Watts case, but it was also kind of through the MGL hatred, I guess. Everybody was kind of, oh, I gotta get your collar out of the car. Everybody had kind of discovered who MGL was as a person. Dude, enough with the barking. So, so that's how we all kind of met. So it was like, people were calling her ass out collectively. I think a bunch of people had to independently realize that MGL was a piece of shit and that she was totally exploiting the Ruseks and the, Shanann Watts family or whatever. And so collectively, we all kind of grouped together in a way to kind of call her ass out over this shit, And and so when Laura started talking to MGL, everybody was like, the fuck, Laura? Like, you traitor. Everybody was like, fuck Laura. And then all of a sudden, the same people that got so mad that she was talking to MGL started going in MGL's chats. And I was like, what in the fucking hell is going on here? Because, like, I was not about to do that because I was like, look, am I annoyed with Laura? Do I think Laura's a fucking sellout? Absolutely. But I'm not going to sell out and go sit in that asshole's chats and support her bullshit. I don't care if she's dragging Laura. I'll watch from the bushes, but I ain't sitting in the chat supporting that shit. Because to me, they're both equally as shitty, So I'm not sitting in her fucking chat. I ain't doing it. I ain't looking doing it. I ain't gonna do it. I'm not sitting in her chat. Ashley 7 back in Laura's chat now will be over. Chat's bad mouthing her tomorrow. Yeah. Look, Ash has always been like that. You gotta love Ash for Ash if you're gonna love her. I mean, I've seen her in there and I'm like, what's going on here? But I get it at the same time because she's Ash and she's kind of always done like that. She's kind of always gone into like whoever's chats. I don't know, man. Maybe I guess I'm just a different type of way. Like, I'm not saying I'm better or worse or anything like that. I'm just a different type of person where, once I see somebody's a shitbag, I'm kind of just like turned off by them. And that's pretty much it for me. I'm not going to be going in their chats. Like Laura thought I don't even know why Laura did this whole thing about Benny Keys. Cause like, Laura, who the fuck does not see that guy's a fucking train wreck? Like, honestly, I mean, I'm sure there's some people, but like, why would you even, why'd you insert yourself in that? Like I said, I'm like, if Benny Keys starts coming after Laura, don't fucking cry, Laura. Don't cry. But like, I knew that shit was not going to go well for her. Once I heard her mentioning that, like, even insinuating that Tiffany and Benny were having a relationship, whether it was true or not, I was like, oh, this shit ain't going fucking well. I said it on my fucking live the other day. In fact, I was almost going to clip it because I was like, I'm getting the popcorn ready. I need the Orville Redenbacher because I knew that shit was not going to fucking go well. But I already knew that Tiffany was already feeling a type of way about Laura prior to this all happening. And I think it has to do, she could use Alicia all day. My personal opinion is I think she's full of shit. I don't think she cares all that much about Alicia. I think she just, Tiffany likes to do that. She likes to adopt a cause to fight her battles, and then Alicia just happened to be that cause. But I think she was already probably upset with Laura prior to that because you could just tell that they hadn't spoken in months. When Tiffany went up on the panel that day to talk about Alicia, you could tell that they hadn't spoken already in months. Like they weren't really as friendly as they want people to believe they were. I don't think they were on the phone on a daily basis. I don't think it was like that for a long time. Tiffany's in her own fucking world, fucking with the Summerwells people, And look, I can't say that everything Tiffany said about Laura was a lie. There was some shit that she said that I agree with, And I'm like, all right, she's calling it, she's calling a spade a spade. I get it, but I just think to me, if you truly were so mad about what she did to Alicia, you wouldn't go and do the same exact thing to somebody else. In fact, maybe even a little worse, I mean, it was kind of ugly. It was kind of fucking ugly, and then the people that were in the chat supporting that shit, I'm like, just kind of mind blown about because I'm like, aren't you the same people that get mad at like me for talking about Laura? Like, I don't know, dude. I just like fucking East Coast Beauty and some of those fucking people that were friends with Laura, that were just like, bye, bitch. And they're in somebody else's chat. Girl. Laura said hi to me in Robbie's chat yesterday, LOL. I just said hi back and kept it moving. Oh, maybe she thinks there's somebody else. I don't know. Bad mouthing BK and saying, I'm not saying anything against TM while doing it. Yeah, but she was, though. She was. she was saying some negative shit. And like, Laura, if you want to go like that, like I tell you guys all the time, there's just like certain people on here that I actively try to avoid talking about because like I just don't want to deal with their fucking crazy shit. That guy would be one of them. Like, he's not really on my list because I really don't pay all that much attention to him. But like, I I certainly do not go out of my way to watch that guy or fucking know anything about him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't, I kind of just want that guy to think I don't exist, you know? And I'll be honest, like, this probably piss people off, but like, I could see that I will give credit where credit's due. Benny Keys is very engaging. I will say that, dude. Like, there is a weird charm about the guy when he does start talking, and it's kind of sad because if he's actually an intelligent person, okay, and if he actually used his skill for good and not what he does, then I think he would. I think he would actually have a following. Like there is a certain quality about him that I think could be interesting to listen to. But so I get the initial attraction to him, but once you hear all the fuck shit that's gone on with him, that's when I'm like, oh my god, this just scared the ever living shit out of me. Oh my god, I went to light my candle and I'm like, what the fuck, there's little seeds in it. I had flowers. My friend had bought me flowers for my birthday, and they're still alive. Most of them. Some of them died, which I should probably throw them out, but I was away this weekend. I was like, what the fuck? But you guys know what I'm saying? Like, I understand, like, the guy definitely has a factor about him that I do find. I see why people are attracted to him. Like, he is interesting to listen to. He's actually very well spoken for somebody who's, like, to me, a street person. Like, he's what I would call a street guy. He's actually very well spoken, which is shocking. But a lot of it's bullshit. I don't know how much of it is sincere. But like, come on, Laura. I don't find anything endearing. It's not endearing, Badger. I don't know what way to. I don't know how to explain it. I don't personally find him endearing, but what I'm saying is, I could find. I could see how people could, find him interesting to listen to. Maybe that's a better word. He could be interesting to listen to. I see that he has a kind of messy history, shall we say. I'm trying to put this nicely, right? I see that he has a kind of messy history. So I'm just like, I just stay away from that. I don't need the trouble in my life. I don't need to get involved with somebody like that because there's definitely two sides to that guy. There's the nice guy, and then there's the guy who's going to like dox the shit out of you and harass you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't want a fucking part of that. I don't want no part of that. So I just stay the fuck away from those types of people on here. Because there's no need for me to even get involved in that shit, Laura posts him with a new girl, says, good job, Betty. Yeah, that's what's so funny, Just Facts. I seen that. I'm like, you were just calling the guy a loser and a clown and a drug addict and whatever else, and then you're giving him props. Like, Laura, that don't make any sense. That's kind of funny. Well, I probably shouldn't even go there. Never mind. She has a habit of doing that, shall we say. There's been other times in this community, especially with men, who Laura calls abusers and shit, and then she lets them back in their chat. I mean, shit. There's been quite a few. There's just been a long lisp. Lisp. Where'd I get that from? Lisp. He's gonna grab a log. I've only heard of BK through others talking about his history. I know nothing for a fact. Like, I ain't got no problems with the guy. I just don't want nothing to do with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna stay over here. You can do your thing over there, Benny Keys. Like, I'm gonna be over here, do my thing. Okay? But at the same time, like, Laura puts herself like a human tampon, okay? She puts herself in these situations. So it's like, Laura, what do you expect? Like, if Benny Keys comes after you now, you're kind of you kind of asked for it. Sorry. Like, whether Tiff, in all honesty, dude, whether Tiffany's in a relationship with Betty Keys or not, like that's a really not Laura's business, you know? And she shouldn't honestly like I mean Tiffany does Tiffany's a little, shall we say, overly sensitive. Like way overly sensitive. But okay, I will say that I try to put myself in people's shoes even if I don't care for them. Like I would have been annoyed too had Laura said what she said about Benny. You know, like I don't blame Tiffany for being upset about that shit. Cause like, really, Laura, why were you speaking on what the fuck out of the clear blue sky made you speak on Tiffany's relationship? If you want to have an opinion about Benny Keys being a loser, that's your opinion and you're entitled to that. I just don't know why you had to drag Tiffany out. Like, I was like, dude, this, like, Laura, this is not going to fucking end well for you. It's just not. The problem for me with TM is none of Laura's vile behavior bothered her until now. Say it louder for the people in the back. Say it louder. You're right. Oh, no, she stuck up for Laura. No. Well, that's why I'm saying, you see, that's the insincerity that I find in her and Laura is where they'll just befriend people because those people are doing their bidding, or you know what I'm saying? Or Tiffany's the type of person, just like Laura, that she will just befriend somebody. Perfect example, Molly Golightly. If I went back through our texts and our voice messages and shit, okay, and you heard Tiffany talking about how horrible of a person Molly Golightly was, and how Tiffany thought, and look, I get it, you know, for some things, Molly Golightly is a piece of shit. Like, there's no fucking ifs, ands, or buts about it, right? She's a horrible human being. But is she responsible for everything that goes, you know, wrong on YouTube? No. You know, like there's other people in the community that are equally as shitty, if not more shitty than her, you know? Well, I don't know about more shitty, but maybe equally or close to it. So like, you know, is she responsible for every fucking thing that happens? No, I don't think so. You know, it's kind of like that all or nothing thinking. It's like, you know, Molly Golightly does everything or she does nothing. Like it can't be. Like it's somewhere in the middle. Does she do a lot of shit? Yeah. But is every fucking thing her fault? No. You know, there's other people out there. Tiffany was like so paranoid about Molly Golightly. I mean, just everything that happened. You know, if there was a troll account, if it was whatever it was, oh, it's Molly Golightly's got to be behind it, you know? And like, don't get me wrong, I was paranoid about the bitch too, because I mean, but I had things happen to me. I had a reason to be paranoid about her, you know, as far as coming for me, you know, because I had that reason. I had fucking beef with the asshole, but you know, we had interactions in this sense. But Tiffany, I don't know, she was just paranoid about her over everything. So the fact that she went and befriended her, like clearly Tiffany was just doing that to like, I don't know, piss me off for some reason, which I thought, bro, joke's on you on that one. Like, I remember saying it back then. I'm like, I'm not pissed off. I'm fucking laughing at your ass. You look, first of all, you look like a fucking clown, you know, being friends with her. But number two, like, this ain't gonna end well for you, girl. Like, I don't even have to do anything. I just sit back and you just destroy yourself. Like, you just get yourself involved in a bunch of fuck shit. There's no need for me to do anything or say anything. Really, you got yourself involved in that fuck shit. That's on you, girl. That's on you. Like, why would you even, you can't go, I'm sorry, in normal real life, maybe it's just YouTube, I don't know, but not for me, because in normal real life, I cannot, it's very hard for me to go from thinking somebody's responsible for, you know, everything that's wrong in the world and that they're evil and that they're terrible people. And then all of a sudden, you know, I'm friends with them the next day. I can't do that, dude. It's just not me. But people on YouTube do it. Like what changed your mind? You know? What changed her mind about Molly Golightly? Nothing. You know, she was just trying to get at me. And so she's like, I'm gonna befriend her. And like, we're gonna join forces against Makeup Mobster. Her and Laura did it. Both of them did it. They both did it because they're both, as much as those two would like to say how, you know, strong they are, they're weak ass motherfuckers. You know, they always got to join forces with somebody. You could do a panel by yourself, but you're a weak ass bitch. Okay, because Laura does it all the time. She's infamous for it. She will befriend. What do they say? The enemy, the friend of my enemy. No, I don't know. I'm gonna fuck that up. I'll forget it. But you know what I'm saying? They'll befriend anybody that does. Laura, oh, you don't like Queen Bee? We're friends now. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you don't like We're friends now. She don't care. She don't give a fuck. I don't do that shit. Look, you don't like fucking Laura and you're a piece of shit too. Chances are we're not gonna be friends. Keep it. No, it's like the friend of my enemy or something. I don't know. I'm not good with these fucking sayings. You know what I mean? I don't think you ever will. But if you meet up with TM the pub, girl, you're on your own. Yeah, well, I would expect to be on my own, B Fergs. I would fully expect to be on my own. But no, girl, I've been there, done that, and wrote the book about it. Like, I don't need either one of those people. I like to keep people in my life that have some like add some value to my life. You know what I'm saying? Like in some way and form. I'm not saying people that do things for me. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying people who add value to my life in the sense that like B Ferg's great example, right? She's always been there for me. Okay. We can be there for each other. There's times when B Fergs has told me off and told me, you know, Leanna, you're acting like a fucking asshole. And like, I appreciate that, you know? I mean, this is like years ago, but I'm just saying, like, she's been an honest, caring, supportive friend. And I know that she's always looking out for my best interest and vice versa. I'm always looking out for her best interest. We've been there for each other through hard times, through good times. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's somebody I value that I would be very upset. You know, Hummingbird is somebody else that I'm very close with on here that, you know, we have good conversations with one another. Those are people that bring value to my life. I'm not saying I didn't have good conversations with Tiffany because I did. You know, we did. We had good conversations on the phone. But she devalued my life. You know what I'm saying? She brought me down. She was an emotional vampire. Um, you know, there's too much. You know, you just get to a point where you have to start. If you get to this point in any friendship, you know it's time that the friendship has run its course. Okay, when you have to start asking yourself, like, is this friendship worth the trouble that it brings me? You know, is it because you know I felt like at a certain point with Tiffany, it was like every time a problem got solved of hers, she would find somehow another problem, okay? Or she would create another problem. And it was very, very exhausting, you know? So after a while, I had enough of it, dude. I was like, I cannot deal with this shit anymore. It's too much. Too much. Your friends shouldn't burden you, you know, especially emotionally. They shouldn't be an emotional burden to you, especially internet friends. You know, it's a little different when it's somebody who you've been friends with for, you know, 30 years in real life, but like your internet friends should not be constantly emotionally burdening you and like putting you in the middle of things, okay? Of their battles constantly. Like that should not happen, you know? And I felt like that with both her and with Laura. It was like, you know, you become friends with those people, you have to take all their baggage on, okay? All the nasty things that they say to people, like that's not a good look. I don't want nothing to do it. I'm not saying I never said nasty shit to people. Of course I have, you know? I'm saying, you know, they've definitely got a habit of doing it way more often. And I don't need to be responsible. I'm responsible for my words and my words only. But I don't need to be responsible for the things Laura does and said. A grown ass woman who's 10 years older than me, okay, who should be 10 years more mature than me. I don't need to be responsible for her fucking words. And the same thing with Tiffany, you know, Tiffany's not older than me, but, you know, I don't need the responsibility of being friends with a person like that. I just don't. Not as yes, a trauma addict. That's a good way to say it, Daisy. Tiffany is definitely addicted to chaos, dude. She is. She actively seeks out. They both are, though, her and Laura. They're addicted to chaos. They actively go out and seek problems with other people constantly. I call people Disney princesses constantly need to be saved. Oh, Disney. Yeah, I agree. I wonder if Lauren's dragon mascot pissed TM off in some way. Oh, I'm sure it did. I'm sure she got paranoid about it and was like, Laura, seriously? you know, I'm sure that bothered her. That girl, the word dragon triggers the fuck out of that girl. So, yeah, wouldn't surprise me. I totally agree. I like surrounding myself with people with the same morals and boundaries. Like, dude, like that's a shame, man. Because like Tiffany, actually, I have to say, I did enjoy. We had a lot of good conversations and shit. But it was like all the other bullshit. Like if Tiffany could just be the cool person, it's like same kind of way I kind of feel about Mandy Bell. If Mandy could just be Mandy and just be cool and without all the bullshit, like she'd be a fucking awesome person, but she just can't. Like they just can't fucking help themselves. And it's too much, dude. It's always something. It's just like all the fucking time. And I'm like, dude, I have like enough problems in my real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need somebody that I met on the internet to be draining me like this, my energy and my emotions like this. I mean, because that's how I felt. What's up with the dragon? Is there a story? Yeah. So back in the day, all right, there was, Tiffany was friends with this analyzer lady or some shit. There was this lady who was basically lying about having cancer herself, some type of like weird blood cancer. And she, I believe, talked to Tiffany. I don't know. I don't know if they were in a Discord together. I forget the exact story. I probably shouldn't even tell the story. But at some point in time, she made up this story about Tiffany saying that she sees dragons in her house or some shit. Like she gets high or something like that. I don't remember exactly what the story was. Okay. And I mean, she lost her ever living shit. So after that happened, there was a whole bunch of like troll accounts with like Tiffany's head on dragons and shit, along with the high horse accounts. Oh my God, it was funny shit. But yeah, it was like, I don't know. Somebody said something about Tiffany hallucinating and seeing dragons in her house, and she fucking lost her shit. Permit Victor. TM goes for one thing to the next, to the next, to the next for years. Heck with that. Well, yeah, and that was. I'm glad you're here because like that was another big problem with Tiffany. If she wouldn't have constantly been starting dumpster fires with everybody else I was friends with, that was a huge thing for me. Because like Laura was the last one, but there were so many people that I was friends with that she started fights with, and it was like, I think one of the first ones was Remy, right? It was like she would constantly triangulate. And I feel like that's kind of what Tiffany was doing with Alicia and Laura the other day. Because, she was trying to get Alicia. Look, Tiffany, if you have your opinion about Laura and you want to fucking say, I don't like what Laura said about Alicia, that's one thing. But like, she was almost using Alicia in a way, if you go back and listen to the stream, to kind of triangulate, to get Laura and Alicia in a battle, it seemed like to me, you know? Yeah, she's a miserable human. But yeah, she started a fight. So I think Remy was the first one, or one of the first ones. And then it was Ems. And then B Fergs. She got mad at B Fergs. Tracy, I was friendly with Tracy. She got in a fight with Tracy at the time. I mean, there were so many people. Laura was just like the last person. Like that was like, it wasn't even about Laura. Like, I don't know, Tiffany seemed to think or people seemed to think in general, I took Laura's side in the fight. It wasn't that. It was like we kind of all had the same, it just all happened to happen at the same time. You know what I'm saying? It was maybe for me an opportune time to walk away. So I understand why people thought it was like, oh, you took Laura's side over Tiffany's side. It wasn't really a matter of me taking sides, because like at that time, I felt Laura was a little bit trying to change, but it was an act, which took me not too long to realize after. But Laura did things like, I felt like they both were just as equally as fucked up doing stupid shit to each other and saying stupid shit about each other. I just saw it as an opportune time because I was already Tiffany was already, like, I was just at my wit's end with her at that point in time. It was just too much drama, too much bullshit, constant bullshit. So I was done. I was just done. Mm. I had a cheerleader friend at school. I was the weirdo, but we had this friendship like I was you. But, you know, she had my back in general a lot. But some girl and some don't. Life is constantly a lesson. Yeah, it's very true. She's probably busy making PK's ex-wife crazy. Who knows what she's doing with that shit. I just, my whole, I mean, that was the worst dragging I've seen by Tiffany. So that tells me they haven't been talking all that much for a long time, because trust me, if they were talking and there was some type of friendship there, Tiffany would have done a lot more. But I was actually shocked because Tiffany actually allowed Laura. Laura went live for a reason. She used to do this shit all the time. You know, it's to throw you off your game. She'll hit the live button and she's trying to throw you off your game, but she's also trying to distract people from hearing the truth about her, you know? So she throws the live button on, and, you know, this way her people, because especially with somebody like Tiffany, because she knows that they share a lot of subscribers. So Laura's, you know, whole thing was like, let me go live first. I'll pull all those people in to my chat. This way they don't go to her chat, you know? And that was her whole thing. And I got to be honest with you, I was kind of surprised that Tiffany fell for it. Like, Laura threw her completely off her fucking game. I mean, maybe she is going through some heartbreak and she can't, you know, think clearly right now with this. I don't know, but she threw her totally off her fucking game, her normal game. Okay. And distracted the fuck out of her, you know, by having that other girl on panel. Like, Laura knew what she was doing there. She knew exactly what she was doing. It's all about, for Laura, it's all about keeping subscribers and people and super chats and Patreons and all that bullshit. For Tiffany, it's just fighting to fight because she just fucking enjoys the shit. She just thoroughly enjoys being a fucking asshole. Like, I don't think I've ever met somebody that enjoys being an asshole that much. I really don't. Except for maybe Molly Golightly. TM talked up the dragon, but sounded too medicated to focus, in my opinion. She might have been on some. TM said Laura's candle almost blew her table, yet she continued to allow Laura to drop her candle link. Oh, is that true? Yeah, where's those pictures? I want to see that shit. Yeah, and she continued to be like, no, Laura's candles are amazing. You know what's so funny too? She claims she got mad about the Summer Wells candle thing. But how mad did you get, girl? How mad did you get? I'm terrible. I like watching assholes be assholes to each other. Girl, I'm freaking 1000% in there with you. Like, I mean, shit. I was like in the car. I was like, God damn it, my son has a game right now. Like, I had, you know, I was like, I gotta go back in. But it was a big old nothing burger. Like, nothing good came, at least the parts I heard, because I didn't hear the whole entire thing. Because, again, my son had a game. But I was like, the hour or whatever that I could listen in my car, I was like, oh my God, dude. I was like, I fucking love this shit, you know? I love watching these assholes tear each other's faces off. It's fucking amazing. But yeah, she claims I don't know. In all fairness, I don't watch Tiffany. Okay, I really don't. Normally, I can't watch her because you gotta remember, like I said, I was friends with her. I sat on the phone with her for fucking hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. Like, I would be on the phone with her. My husband would be getting up for work, and I would still be on the phone with Tiffany, and he'd be like, "Seriously, Liana?" Like, well, especially when she had her falling out with Kim. I mean, it was, dude, it was just fuck. Oh my God. You know, it was like emotionally taxing. But I'd be on the phone with her. So, like, just having to hear her voice anymore, I'm like, no thanks. No thanks. You know? But so I really don't watch her. But from what other people say, like, she promoted Laura's candles. No. They fucking, that, dude, I just never met people like this in my life. Like, just, I don't know, man. Like, once you fucked me over like that, I'm done with you, dude. You know, it's a little different. Like, people will be like, oh, well, MM lets, you know, so-and-so back in her chats. First of all, my chats have always been open. That's always been, my chat, the policy here, it's always been an open door, my chat. And anybody's allowed to come in and say what they want. Okay. As long as they're being, reasonable, or, I mean, even if they're being an asshole to me, I don't fucking care. If they start like, attacking a subscriber or something like that, yeah, I might, block your ass. But it takes a lot. It does, to get blocked in my chat. I would say a lot more than it does in other chats, right? But people talking shit on me on the internet is, totally different than what Tiffany or somebody like Laura's done, like friendship wise, like, Laura going live and saying shit about my husband and my kid and shit like that. But like, that's it, dude. I don't want your friendship ever again. Why in the world would I be friends with somebody who obviously thought all those things about me while we were friends? Okay. Thought all these things, because, you wouldn't be saying them unless you actually thought them. Why in the world would I take somebody like that back? I would never trust you again. I mean, I would never be able to trust that person again, because they're going to take everything that I tell them or that happens in my personal life, and they're going to try to use it against me and twist it and bend it. No thanks. No thanks. One thing I will agree with Tiffany, though, that she said is, because Laura sits around wondering why people have their boot on her fucking neck. She says some pretty egregious shit. That's why. And that's why people, when you start attacking people's family members, their children, you can't expect that people are just going to be like, oh, okay. No. Like, Laura thinks that's her power move there, is to start attacking people's family members and talking shit about their kids and shit. And then people are going to get scared and back off of her. But all she does is invite people to fucking stay on her ass like a hemorrhoid. Yeah, well, that's how I am, Zizi. I can't, once I don't trust you, it's over. I mean, that's in any relationship, like my brother, I lost trust in him at some point in time. He broke my trust. That's more what our relationship and the fight is about, is the breaking of trust. When people are like, do you think you guys could reconcile again? I don't know, because like, I would have to learn how to retrust him again after severely breaking my trust. There's actually a thing. I'm not saying that's what I have, but there's actually I was watching a video recently about that, about, trust trauma, something like that, where somebody just breaks your trust on such a deep level that it like traumatizes you, basically. And I feel like, it's a very hard thing to rebuild once it's broken. They make up knowing shitty things they said about each other, but neither one has integrity, and Laura has memory issues, so it works for them. Well, yeah, that's the whole thing. Like, if you said that shit about my family and my husband, my kid, like, for instance, okay, what Tiffany was trying to make people believe that Laura's kids were showering together. Like, dude, that's a wrap for me. I would not talk to that person again after that. It's a fucking wrap. I'm done after that. No, thank you. I don't know, Laura just, I don't know, maybe because, maybe it's because to me, it's like when you say things, like when I say something, I mean what I say, so words have meaning to me. And maybe for them, because, they bullshit so much, I don't know, that the words don't have meaning. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They don't feel the same. I don't know. Because to me, no, you're done after you say some shit like that to me. Waiting for the eclipse in Dallas. What time is it supposed to start? I don't even know. Laura takes people back and she has no substance. I think it's that. Laura will definitely like try to befriend somebody because she thinks that you're, scared of them or whatever. She also takes people back if they're beneficial to her in some way, shape, or form. She'll be friends with somebody if they have a lot of subscribers, or like at the time, right? Think about this. When the whole Diane thing was going down, the St. Jude's thing, Tiffany's channel magically blew up. Okay. Like overnight, like she went from having 2,000 subscribers, and then all of a sudden it blew up to like whatever it was, 15,000 or some shit like that. Right. Laura saw that as an opportunity. Tiffany all of a sudden had value to her. When Tiffany only had 2,000 subscribers, she was of no value to Laura. But once she seen her kind of blowing up, and I'll agree with Tiffany on that, because she was kind of saying that the other day, that Laura would come in her chat to, plug her candle link. And I agree with her on that one. That is Laura. You're right. Laura will come in the chat and, she'll be your friend. So it was like, Laura didn't give a fuck. I don't know exactly why Tiffany's channel got as big. I don't know if it's because she befriended Molly Golightly or she was covering some case or whatever. But as far as I know, it's been pretty stagnant since 3:39. Oh, wait a second. Really? That don't make no sense. Hey, I'm only 35 minutes. There's like a line. I didn't know that, but oh, Ems, I was hitting golf balls this weekend. There was a driving range, and oh my God, now I know why. It's so funny because I was actually thinking of you while I was there, because I was like, oh, now I know why Ems says she can't have long nails while she's golfing. Like, I don't play golf for the life of me, but I used to enjoy, going to the driving range. I don't know. It's just fun. I don't enjoy it quite as much as the batting range, like the batting cages, but it's pretty fun to get some aggression out, And what do you call it? I totally get why you're saying that you can't do it with long nails. In fact, I broke another one of my nails, so I have to fix that today. But yeah, it's not easy to like wrap your hands around the club, which I mean, shit, the club I was using was total doo-doo garbage, because they had like this small little bucket. Me and my son are like, what the fuck? Because they had like a small little bucket for like lefties. Like all the crappy clubs were like the lefty clubs. I'm like, you fucking kidding me, dude? And my son's actually a righty, but he like does. I never heard of this before in my life, but I'm a lefty through and through. It is very hard for me to do things with my right hand. Although, if you're a lefty in the chat, raise your hand if you're a lefty in the chat. You know what I'm saying is that there's just certain things in life we kind of have to train ourselves to do with our right hands, like using a mouse. When computers came out, you know how hard it was for me to control the mouse, like with my right hand, because I just don't have that. It's funny now, because if I do try to grab a mouse with my left hand, it feels very weird, but it was very, very hard for me, especially as a graphic artist. Like when I first started out trying to paint or draw with a mouse with my right hand, it is extremely hard to do that. But anyway, my son, he writes righty, but he does pretty much everything else lefty. Like he plays sports, he's lefty. If he's batting, he's lefty. He throws, I'm pretty sure he throws lefty. He plays hockey lefty, golf lefty, which is so weird to me. And then my friend, one of my good friends, her son and her daughter are the same way. They're both righties, but they play lefty. Like they play lacrosse lefty. And I'm like, that's so weird. I never heard of that before. Because like me, I can't do anything righty. Like I have like throwing is hard for me. At sports, batting, I bat lefty. Like I do everything lefty. But we always get gypped. Okay. We get gypped in lefty world. You bat lefty? That's so weird. I cannot even imagine hitting a ball righty. Like I just can't even imagine. It feels so bizarre. Like it just don't feel right. You cut hair with your right. That's weird. All right. So there's some ambidextrous folks in the chat. Hey. Your insurance may not cover your treatment if you refuse treatment. What do you mean, Babs? Last time I played mini golf, my ball skipped out and hit some guy right in the butt. Well, my son told me, he's like, one of the kids got mad. They played mini golf too. He went with all the boys. He went with all the older boys. My son was playing 14U, okay, hockey. So he was, his age group had left. And he's the only kid. And it's so funny because he's like, dude, there's a big age difference, a size difference, shall I say, from a 11-year-old to a 14-year-old or 15. Some of the kids could be 15. And when my husband told me he was playing 14U, I almost like passed out. I was like, dude, like it's a little different when they're like 6 and 9 or 8, but you're talking now kids that are going through puberty playing against my 11-year-old kid, but he hung in there, dude. He had a couple goals. Like he actually got them to the championship game, but then they lost. They got second place, but he got them there because he had a goal and an assist for a goal. So, I mean, that pretty much got them into the championship game, and he's the youngest kid on the team. It's like so funny. You have to see him lined up on the bench. He's like half the size of these kids. Like some of them are like 5 foot, they're already like 5 foot something tall. One kid's almost 6 foot tall. And my son's shorter than me still. He's only like, I don't even know if he's 5 feet yet. He's probably like 4'11" or some shit. Are you talking about Laura refusing the final chemo? Maybe. She might be behind Beefergs. I just look at it like, dude, you already did 3 of them. I mean, this is just my personal feeling. Like, you already did 3 of them. Just do the 4th one, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, you already got through, you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's like running to third base and then just being like, you know what? Fuck it. And then just running off the field. Like, that's what it seems like to me. It's like, you just got to third base and then you were like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to home plate. Like, you're there, dude. You're almost there. Like, just finish it out. You know what I'm saying? For your own peace of mind. I don't know if it's going to make a difference. I don't know. That would just be me. That's how I would feel. I would be like, you know what? I don't know if it's going to make a difference. That 4th treatment, I don't. 3 treatments might be enough. But for my own peace of mind, I feel like I would constantly be thinking to myself, I didn't get that 4th treatment. It's going to come back. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you take antibiotics, like that's why they tell you to always finish the bottle and take the whole thing, is just to make sure, like you probably killed the infection within the first day or 2 of taking the antibiotics, but to make sure that there's no lingering, bacteria hanging around, they want you to finish the entire course of antibiotics. It's kind of like the same thing. You should just finish the course. And this way, if it does come back, you could be like, okay, at least I did what I had to do. But if it does come back now, you're going to be like, well, would that 4th treatment have helped? Like, I don't know. I just feel like you already did 3 and got through it. What's one more? She's like, I want my life back. I mean, Laura, not to be an asshole, but like, what life? Like, honestly, I'm not saying you don't have life. Everybody's alive and doing things, but like, you don't have a job. It's not like you had to take off from work, and take like family leave. Like, if somebody that had to get back to work, like their career, I would totally understand it. I'd be like, oh, they have a job, they want to get back to their career, whatever. But like, as far as it seems, she's been able to do everything that she's always been able to do. Right? Like, what has this stopped her from doing, really? I that's what I don't understand. Like, for Alicia, I know it was inconvenient because she had to stop working. There's no way you would be able to do photography, dude, while you were going through chemo. I worked as a photographer for a little bit, and I'll tell you right now, it is one of the most labor-intensive jobs I've ever had in my entire life. In fact, like, I had looked at photographers in a totally different way after I worked as one, because that is not for the weak-hearted person. I mean, you're on your feet all day. If you're doing weddings, you're on your feet for like 16 hours. I mean, it's crazy. You're there. You're the first person there. Like the DJ only comes for the party, and the makeup girl's only there for maybe like, before the wedding, or maybe to do touch-ups. But like, when you're the photographer, you're literally the first person there in the morning, and you're the last person to leave at night. And it is a long day. Long day. And then, you got to carry lights and equipment. And I mean, you're on the floor, you're climbing on things, to get the good shots. I mean, if you want to have a good pictures, you're climbing up on tables and chairs. And I mean, you're rolling on the floor. It's a lot, dude. It's a lot of work, and it's very tiring. And so I could totally understand, like, she had to take time away, and was, she was unable to do that while she was going through her treatment. As for Laura, she works out of her house, which, I mean, really, honestly, if you're blessed to be able to do that, because a lot of people can't do that. They can't work from home. your livelihood is YouTube. You still went live, just as much, if not more, than you normally did. So I mean, what exactly was this stopping you from doing? This one more treatment that is what, in a month? Alicia, how often are they? What's up, Carlos? I like your rating. The eclipse ain't here yet. I don't have eclipse glasses. My ex had stage 3 colon cancer, did infusion chemo and by mouth, and still did 6 hours physical, 6 hours office work a day. But he's a work addict. See, like my mom was the same way. When my mom was on dialysis, most people go on uh they'll go on what do you call it, disability on dialysis, because just being on dialysis automatically qualifies you. My mom worked a full-time job, okay, and then she had 2 young kids. Me and my brother were young at the time. I was like my son's age, the age that my son is now, and my brother was a couple years older than me. And she worked full-time, never took off, unless she was in the hospital. She was at work, unless she physically couldn't be there, she was there. So, I mean, she kind of had no choice. She pretty much, uh, paid for all of our bills and everything at the time. My dad lost his job right around the time not his job. He closed his business down right around the time my mom went on dialysis. The business went under. So, yeah, it was a hard time, but she worked her ass off. So that's what I'm saying. Like, dialysis is also very taxing, extremely taxing, and there's no end in sight for some people. My sister had to do it for 6 years. 6 years. I mean, luckily for her, she didn't work, but my mom had to do it for a year while working a full-time job on top of that. Like, that shit's not easy. So I just want to know, like, exactly what is this, stopping Laura from doing? That's what I'm saying. Her fucking excuses just made no sense to me, because I'm like, Laura, like, what is this really stopping you from doing? Like, you still make your candles, lucky for you, you could work, quote unquote, from home, right? You could still do it. Maybe not with the same intensity, but you'll get back there. I don't know, dude. Look, again, it's her decision and it's her body and it's her choice. But I would just be like, look, I don't know. Yeah, I'm looking at the sky to see if there's any clouds. I'm sorry. And my ex has more problems from neuropathy in his hands and feet. Oh man. Than from the chemo radiation itself. I was running my dad's business and mine, plus working a normal job on top of school when I was diagnosed. Again, all proven being sick fucked me. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, and look, I understand she's sole provider in her house and everything, but I don't know. She didn't seem that it affected her life all that much. She was still going live as much, like, as she normally did, So it's like, you didn't have to take a medical leave from work or anything like that. So I just don't get what exactly it was stopping her from doing. And let's just be honest, Laura, you don't leave your house all that much. Like, she leaves her house to go, like, food shopping, normal shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not like she's out partying with her friends and going to bars and shit. It's like, what exactly? And, like, I'm not saying she should be doing that. She's 50 something years old, but, like, what exactly was this stopping you from doing? She's like, I just want my life back. You know who else wants their life back? My mom. You know who else wants their life back? My dad. But you know what? They didn't have a choice. They had no choice. So you kind of sound like a fucking entitled, spoiled brat saying shit like that. Like, oh, I just want my life back. I just think she only thinks in Laura's one of those people, she just thinks in the now. Like, she's not much of a future thinker. Like, for instance, like, Laura, what are you going to do in the future as far as a retirement and a 401k and all that kind of shit? Because I'll tell you right now, if I was a single parent, those would be the types of things I'd be worrying about. 401ks and shit like that. What am I going to, what kind of nest egg am I going to set up for my child in the future? I only have one, but I'm just saying, if you have multiple children, like, I want my kids to have something if I pass away. I mean, my son, has a house and everything, but as a single parent, how am I going to survive as an old person? That's another thing to think about. There's going to come a time where you're not going to want to work anymore, and you're not going to be able, you might not be physically able to work anymore and you have to retire, how are you surviving in the future? I think of that shit, and I'm married. How did Benny Keys end up in my chat? Is that the real Benny Keys? Benny Keys, I got a question for you, brother. Tell me what you think about Laura talking about your personal relationships with women. Good luck getting life insurance. Hard to get anything over 10K with a diagnosis. I mean, yeah, it's helpful to have life insurance in case, God forbid something happens to you and you don't want your kids to have to scramble to, bury you. I don't know. Laura's probably like, oh, they'll just do a GoFundMe. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's just no future plans. Like, she's only thinking of the now. Her hair, her looks, her body being bloated. But like, Laura, I really suggest, like, I'm not saying this to be an asshole. I'm saying it just because, again, like, I have parents that died from cancer, dude. Like, just think of in future terms your kids and everything, I don't know, dude. She's sexless and how to move to Alabama to make rent. She's faker than spam. All right. It's him. Can you tell? I don't think I saw his first comment. I don't believe a word that old lying ass Laura says. Too much of what she says is straight up lies. One thing she is reliable for is being evil and lying. Well, if that ain't the fucking truth, I don't know what is, girl. I don't know what is. Never allowed my life insurance to lapse. I got it when my son was 22, born 22 years ago, and I've kept it current. Set up my 401k and pay the catch up percentage and bought into company stock plan. Yeah, like that's all smart shit to do because you don't want your kid, if something happens to you, where are your kids left? Like, I don't know. I know the one kid, the father already passed, so I understand that. He got, Laura's too lazy to fill out, forms for the kid, which is sad. Yeah. Why put out text if you're just going to deny it later when you may go, oh shit. Oh shit. I ain't getting involved in that one. TM definitely don't want these texts out. They are on the way. Oh shit. Oh shit. Well, you know what, Benny? Here's what I have to say about that. I don't know what all you got in those texts, right? I don't know what's in there. I don't know what the contents of the text are, right? But I will say this. I personally feel like of all people in the world who deserve that fucking karma, she's the one. Okay? Because that's what she does whenever a friendship falls out. Tiffany starts digging back. In fact, when her and my friendship fell out, just to give you an example, because I remember listening to you back in the day when you guys kind of had your little falling out. I listened to your live stream and I was like, holy shit, I'm getting validation. Well, not only from you, but from also what's his face? AB, which I know you guys, or I think you guys aren't friends. I don't know what's up with that, but just saying, two separate people that I don't know personally that had experiences with the same person. She didn't send me no fucking text with shoving objects up her fucking ass and shit. No thanks. I'm talking about, she went through our old texts and I knew she was going through our old texts because I had seen her do this to other people. And I knew she was just looking for shit, digging through her text, looking for shit that she could use against me. Right. And so one day I'm sitting here. Now, this is like a while after we had stopped talking, like, maybe like a couple weeks or so. I'm sitting here and I get a notification on my phone and it's like Tiffany laughed at a message. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I go look, okay? I click on the notification and it brings me back to like a fucking months old message between her and I. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? So I write to her, yo, guess you're looking through our messages. And she's like, that's right, Liana. Like she definitely was. She was looking for shit. And I'm like, yo, that's fucking weird, bro. Like, seriously, that you're sitting there just like spending your free time looking through our messages for something that you could fucking use against me, like, you have to find a hobby, Tiffany. She also went back into our Facebook messages because there was a time where I think she couldn't pay her phone bill or something. Her phone got shut down for a little while. And her and I were communicating on Facebook, and we talked a lot, her and I. And she went back into our text messages, into our Facebook messages, and she deleted every fucking message that she sent me. And I just cannot imagine how time consuming that shit was. Like, I was like, holy shit. But there was another time this shit was fucking weird, dude. She needs to be very careful. Well, she should. There was another time she did some weird shit too, where she texted me, right? Like something like, I don't remember exactly what it said. But again, this was after we stopped talking. It was like a couple of weeks later. And she's like, I accidentally texted you. And I'm like, girl, she was just trying to, I think you said these exact words, that she would do this to you, is she would try to elicit a response from you. Because I just recently, the clip with Benny Keys and AB talking to each other popped up on my feed, so I clicked on it and I was like, oh shit, I think AB had reposted it or something. Like, I'm not like a regular listener of his, but it just popped up in my thing and I'm like, oh shit. And I listened to it. And you said the same thing. She would do things to try to elicit a response from you. And that's exactly what she was doing. She like accidentally sent me this message. And then she's like, I have a neighbor named Liana. And I'm like, girl, like, look, my name's unique. I know that. I went 36 years, excuse me, of my life without ever meeting another Liana, not in school. And mind you, I live in like one of the most populated fucking states in America. I live in New York. Like, there's a million people here, millions of people here. Okay. I never ran into another Liana until I was 36 years old. I met Leannes and Deannas and Briannas and shit. Never another Liana, ever, until I was 36. I know there's other people with the name. I'm not saying like I'm the only person on the planet with the name, but I'm just saying like it's rare. And especially when I was younger, it was rare. And you're telling me that you have a fucking neighbor with the same name as me? Come on, dude. Spelled exactly the same way too, because that's the other thing. There's like many ways you could spell Liana. Some people do Leeanna. Some people do Liana. I'm talking my name with my spelling, which is Leanna. There's not many, okay? And Tiffany texted me. She's like, oh, I was texting my neighbor. You know this. I have a neighbor whose name is Liana. And I'm like, no, girl. No, the fuck you don't. No, the fuck you don't. Was spelled the same way as me, right? No, what she was doing was she was trying to elicit a response from me somehow. Like she wanted me to engage with her and fight with her. And I was trying to avoid it at all costs. So I've only met a Leanne before. That's what I'm saying, dude. I mean, it's not that common of a name. And you're going to tell me that you have a neighbor with the same fucking name as me? Come on, girl. Who do you think you're talking to over here? Like, come on, Tiffany. That shit is highly unlikely. Not saying impossible. I'm just saying it's highly unlikely. It's highly unlikely. Yeah, she's a schemer. Well, she loves to fight with people. So she will do things like that to get you to engage with her. Like she didn't want to text me. So she had sent me like an accidental text, like whatever it said. And I'm like, dude, why are you contacting me? Like, stop. Just stop. I talk to multiple people in Northeast every day, but never Liana. Yeah, I mean, it's just not that common of a name. Why are we doing that? I call nobody on YouTube by their real name. No, I don't either. I know a lot of people's real names. And unless it's somebody who like Laura, like everybody calls her Laura, I'll call her Laura. But, if it's especially a subscriber who, they don't share their real name here. I mean, I'm probably one of the only people here that actually knows what M's real name is. And I don't tell people. I'll never call her by that. And it's so funny that when I'm talking to my husband about people on YouTube, I still use their YouTube names. I'll be like, oh, my friend Beefergs, my friend Hummingbird. I know their real names, but I'm like, I don't want to ever get into the habit of saying their real names, so I just call them by their YouTube names. That pig will text 30 times to tell you not to text her when you hadn't been texting. Well, here's the thing. I know something had to be going down because, like, for Tiffany to be the other day when I listened to her live stream where she was, like, supposedly dragging Laura, I could also tell simultaneously she was shitting a brick because she refused, and Laura was trying to drag it out of her by having that other girl up on the panel. She refused to address anything having to do with you. So I know Tiffany, right? Like, look at the way she went for John. I know she had nothing on John. John had nothing on her. So, or so she thought. So she completely just went after him with all sorts of allegations, and she keeps bringing his fucking name up. Tiffany, leave his fucking name out of your mouth. The guy ain't here. He ain't fucking bothering you. He ain't talking about you. Leave his fucking name out of your mouth already with your bullshit lies. But anyway, I knew she was tiptoeing around the whole thing, I'm not gonna say anything else on that. I don't want to. I don't care if people use my real name here. At this point, like, I've been doxxed to fucking hell and back. I mean, I would prefer you don't share my last name, but my first name is fine. I mean, it is what it is, I honestly prefer to be called by my real name, like my first name here, because fucking having people call me Mega Mobster, I can't stand that. I hate that name, but I mean, people are gonna call me MM is cool. That's fine. I wish I kept my original fucking YouTube name. I should have. Did TM send AB nudes too? So it's been said. You eat word. All right, guys. No fight to the chat. Please. If I sent her pictures around, why would she send 3 subsequent videos after that? Use your head. Except for something to bang on the countertops. Well, if that's the case, I to be honest with you though, I gotta be 100% honest with you. I am kind of shocked that she was sending those types of pictures and videos to men on the internet. Because if you're friends with Tiffany as another woman, like, she makes it seem like she's like the fucking Virgin Mary over there, like, because there was a mutual friend of ours who, shall we say, got involved in a picture scandal of sorts. Okay. And now that I think about it, dude, I wonder if Tiffany had something to do with those photos. This woman was very open with her sexuality and the things that she was into. Okay. But somehow, some very, very racy photos of her ended up on this website. And Tiffany was on the phone with this other fucking nutcase, Mandy, and they found it on the internet somehow. And then they told me about it, and I was like, oh my God, dude, the pictures were intense, shall we say. And so, having been friends with her during that time, like, a lot of her opinions on those pictures and sending those types of pictures, and I mean, I just wouldn't think Tiffany would have been the type of person to do something like that, especially given the fact that Tiffany is very private with her information. I mean, that girl was fucking paranoid on another level about being doxxed. Like, look, none of us like being fucking doxxed. Oh, thank you. Sorry. I just saw that. Thank you for the super sticker, Benny Keys. Thank you. She was paranoid on another level about being doxxed. Like, we all are. Like, I don't fucking enjoy it. I'm not like, yeah, dox me. Hey, it's not like that. But she, like, fucking, I mean, I was on the phone with her one time and she was like calling her mom and making her mom lock her Facebook page. Now, her mom even thought she was nuts. Her mom was like, why do I have to do all this? And let me just tell you, Tiffany looks identical to her mom. They could be twins. Her mom's gorgeous. She is. She's a beautiful woman. And they got some fucking hair, the two of them. But anyway, very nice lady. Her mom seemed like very, very, very nice woman. I never heard her dad, but I heard her mom's voice. Her mom seemed like a very nice woman. Anyway, I mean, like, she was paranoid on another level to the point where Laura actually used to be like, yo, like, what's up with her? You know, like, why is she so secretive with her information? Laura thought she was like hiding something because she was so, secretive. And I used to tell Laura, like, look, dude, some people are like that, like, I don't judge people for that. Like, especially on the internet. Like, if you want to keep your shit private, I don't blame you, especially on the internet, you know? Like, some of us are like, I'm like one of those people, just like, I've always been like this my whole life. Like, I'm pretty much an open book, you know? I've kind of just been like that my whole life. But some people just don't feel comfortable sharing those types of things. There's a lot of shit on here I wish I didn't share, but too late now, I mean, it's out there. I can't fucking take it back. But I'm just saying, she she was very, 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 very private with her shit. So like the fact that she sent photos like that, like, I mean, that girl didn't even go on camera. It took her years to go on camera and actually show her face on here. I was shocked when she did it. Cause she used to sit there, bro. I never met. I'm not fucking lying to you guys, man. I swear over my fucking son. I do not Photoshop any of the pictures that I take, the selfies. Because to me, it's a waste of fucking time. You guys see me on camera all the time, right? Why am I going to sit there Photoshopping when you guys know what I look like? Like, who am I fooling? Like Laura with that last video she posted, that little fucking, oh, Lord, why? I never understood. I'm sorry. Like, are those little camera filter things fun to look at and be like, oh, this is what I would look like if I was a fucking supermodel? Cool story, bro. But like, I would not post that shit because I'd be mortified. I'd be like, dude, like, people know what I look like. Like, clearly they look like I'm fucking 43 years old. There's no way my skin's gonna be that fucking smooth. I mean, come on, my teeth are all fucking jacked. Like, like, who the fuck am I kidding over here? I ain't fucking fooling nobody. Like, I don't understand. Tracy used to have one. I'm like, girl, who are you fooling with this picture? Like, I don't fucking get it, dude. But yeah, Tiffany, anyway, she used to spend time. I remember we were on the phone with her, and that's why she's always fucking late, bro. Dude, that is so fucking rude. I fucking can't stand that shit, man. And this comes from somebody who's like late a lot, to things, or almost on time, shall I say. Not like excessively late, like a couple of minutes late to things, you know? But like, dude, why would you schedule a fucking live and then be 45 fucking minutes late to it? Why even pre-schedule the live? Just fucking go live when you're ready then. I don't even fucking understand. She does it all the time. When I was friends with her, she would be like sitting there like making a thumbnail, and she would like hyper focus on like the thumbnail, like, like it was going to be the last fucking thumbnail she ever made in her fucking life. I mean, she'd be like, I want to find the perfect picture. I'm like, dude, just fucking, holy shit, start the live already. Like, that's so fucking rude. Like, you're kind of like, I mean, people are choosing to be there, but like, you're kind of like wasting people's time, like they're coming in your chat, they're sitting there, and I think she does it also to see. Tiffany always has to suss everything out, like, what's going on. So I think she also does it for that reason, like, who is in my chat and who isn't, who could I trust? But like, for an hour, like, she's like, Laura was in my live chat for 2 hours before my stream started. Why the fuck was there a live chat sitting there for 2 hours before your stream started? Like, in a community like this, I don't know, man, that shit ain't too smart. You leave your live chat open for what? So people could get doxxed in it? Like, what the fuck are you doing? I don't get it. But yeah, she would be sitting there. There was another time, I remember, we were going live on her channel, I think, and she was sitting there photoshopping not Photoshop. I hate fucking saying photoshopping because like 90% of the people doing this shit don't even know how to fucking use Photoshop. But you know what I'm saying? It's just like, I guess it's the terminology now. She was sitting there fucking with her picture. Okay. I was like, yo, dude, what are you doing in this picture? Like, I swear to God, it was like an hour. She was sitting there playing with this fucking picture of herself to put up as her avatar. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing to that picture right now? Like, for me, if I were to fix a picture, it would take me like 2 seconds. I mean, I'm also a graphic designer, so yeah, it's going to take me a little quicker. But like, there's no, if I have to fix a picture that much, then I'm probably just not going to use it because I don't know, shouldn't take you a fucking hour. Nothing will ever replace the I'm a Barbie girl image. I'm a Barbie girl. Morbid Photoshop Laura's face on a dragon body. No, he didn't. That's fucking great. Yeah, well, that's what I think, Smokey. She wants to see how many people. The worst thing that happened, honestly, is like Tiffany getting a Discord. Because that's like, dude, that girl was trying to force me to start a Discord. And I was like, no, absolutely not. Not while she was involved. I didn't want any Discord where she was going to have any involvement in it. My Discord is so peaceful, man, except for like we had one little incident a couple of weeks ago in my Discord, and it was taken care of within seconds, and it's over. Like, it's very peaceful. It's very quiet. And I'm cool with that. I'm fine with that. Mercedes girl, you're always so aggressive. I don't like it all. Let me solve a problem and block you. Okay, well, please do, because please don't fight with Mercedes girl. That's my friend. Please. If you can, block. That's all. Block each other. But please don't fight with her. That's a good friend of mine. Nobody cares Laura ditched chemo. Who's saying that? I don't care what she does, dude. It's her body at the end of the day. I just say I am definitely questioning some of her reasoning. I mean, shit, she shared it publicly. We have a right to have an opinion on it. Tracy, what does that bitch want? Oh, tell me Tracy hit the fucking live button. Mega Monster, I really want your attention. You should probably block each other because it's the first time I've seen anything questionable. Wait, what do you mean? I'm not always aggressive. You're always all right. All right. Let's stop fighting. Please block each other. I like to, Tracy wants to know why you care. Tracy, why do you care that I care? That's the real fucking question. She wants to know why I care. Because Laura shares this shit on a fucking public platform. That's why. So, and cancer is a topic that's very near and dear to my fucking heart, Tracy. That's why I fucking care. And I think she's stupid, to be quite honest with you. But like I said about 400 times during this stream, it's her body and her choice. But if she chooses to share these things publicly, then she should choose to have them critiqued publicly as well. There's nowhere in the terms of service that says you can't have opinions about people's stupid decisions on here. So, I mean, why do you care that I care? Why are you watching me? Why are you always worried about what I'm doing, Tracy? That's the real question. I mean, you have some balls of steel fucking asking me that question. Asking anybody on here why they care about anything. Because, see, I don't talk about your fucking stupid ass ever, but you seem to want my attention really badly. That is true. Never forget, Laura lied about Tracy and her cancer returning for a grift. Maybe you should care, Truth. Yeah. Is Tracy live or is she just making community posts? I don't know what this woman doesn't fucking understand about me. Not giving a fuck about her opinion of me or what she thinks of me or what anybody in her fucking chat thinks of me either. Because if you're dumb enough to fucking, follow that asshole, I don't know what to tell you. Oh, speaking of assholes. Well, I shouldn't say asshole. So I misspoke the other day, and I want to correct something because I'm about putting out proper information. Okay. The other day when I was live, last time, what was it, Thursday? I had stated that Tawanda had made, had sent Laura, I don't remember my exact words, so I'm paraphrasing here, but something to the effect of Tawanda sending Laura shit and Laura thinks she doesn't need radiation or something like that. I know I said or something like that. Okay. So Tawanda came having a fucking shit fit in my comments, post this article okay, in my comments, whatever she sent to Laura. So I misspoke, and I will own that, okay? That Tawanda didn't say Laura didn't need radiation at all. She was saying that she sent her an article, and I didn't read the whole article. I like kind of skimmed through it real quick. She sent her an article about radiation, about you needing less radiation. Okay, so that was my bad. I misspoke there, and I apologize for misrepresenting what Tawanda sent to Laura. That was the impression I got off of Laura, what Laura said. Okay, that was my interpretation of what Laura was saying. And that's why I said, or something like that, because I wasn't 100% sure. So I added that to kind of cover my ass, but of course on here you can't. But anyway, so yeah, so she sent her an article, and I don't give a fuck what the article says, Tawanda, okay, or where it came from. I feel that the best course of action is to follow your doctor's advice, okay? Because the article she sent Laura was a blind study. I'm sorry, not a blind study. It was still in clinical, like the clinical research phase, okay? So I don't know. I would assume that if that were the case, they would start lessening radiation on patients, right? If enough research had been done, and, then they would change the course of treatment, which they haven't done yet. Okay. So I don't know. In my personal opinion, I wouldn't be sending anybody any shit like that, because I wouldn't want to be responsible, because Laura, she wants to get, and I don't blame her. I'm not saying she's wrong. She wants to get her treatments over as soon as possible. Like everybody does, nobody wants to sit there and have to go through this shit, but any excuse she could find to get out of it, she's going to do. She's like a kid that's like, I guarantee you Laura went to the bathroom like every period in high school. You know what I'm saying? She was like one of those girls that always had a gym note. She had her period every week. She didn't have to play gym. Like that's just the type of person she is. So it's no different here, right? She probably, she wants to just get out of this shit in any way, shape, or form. Which again, I don't blame her. It's not fun. It's not like something people like enjoy doing. But Tawanda sent her that article, and it's, I didn't even read the whole thing, because to me, it doesn't even fucking matter what it says. I just wouldn't want the responsibility on my shoulders of telling somebody to try to convince their doctor to do less treatments on them. Like I wouldn't want that responsibility on my shoulders. That's all. So Tawanda flipped the fuck out, and you're always taking shots at me. No, Tawanda, I tell the truth about you, and I give you my opinion about you. And my opinion is that you're a fucking Karen sometimes. My other opinion is that you follow the wrong people, okay? And that you're a glutton for punishment. And I wrote this back right to her in the comment, because that's how I feel. You're a glutton for punishment. You could support somebody and pray for somebody from afar, I don't know, like I want to see Laura win this cancer thing too. Like I don't like her, but I don't want to see anybody die from cancer. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, I don't need to be friends with her though to wish her well, or hope she makes it through this. I don't need to be her friend, and be in her chats and all that shit, because especially if she stole money, especially if I had accused, you see what that does, Tawanda, is it lessens your credibility. The next time it's almost like you cried wolf. Laura stole money from me, so everybody's like, oh, Laura, you're a piece of shit. You stole money from Tawanda. And then you're fucking talking to her again. Well, you look less credible. I mean, that's on you. I don't fucking care. But I'm not taking shots at you. I mean, if you want to look at it like that, that's fine. But I just look at it like, that's pretty sad, Tawanda. I mean, why would you talk to somebody who you felt that way about? I mean, did Laura apologize to you in the recent months? No. You just heard Laura had breast cancer, and you're like, oh, I'm going to go in your town, and that's fine. Some people feel like that. That's cool. It's your prerogative. But shit, I called it out. Oh, well, I ain't sorry. Tawanda wrote in Laura's comment section, now Laura is facing 28 rounds of radiation 5 days a week with only weekends off. Why would she if she only needed 3 chemo treatments? I don't know. The radiation ain't easy either. That's why I wouldn't want to. Look, I just wouldn't want to talk anybody out of getting the treatment that they need. That's all. Okay, so I'll apologize to Tawanda in the sense that I misspoke and misrepresented what she said, because I'm a big girl. But yeah, I mean, all right, dude. That's why I said or something like that, because I wasn't 100% sure. Hold on, I gotta switch over to my laptop. My phone's about to die. I wasn't 100% sure, which is why I tried to cover my ass by saying or something like that. But of course, when you're a fucking Karen, you only hear half of the sentence before you have a reaction, and then start typing and flipping the fuck out. So, and I like Tawanda, man. Like, I don't, I don't want to sound angry towards her. I actually like the woman. I think she's a very nice woman. I just, I can't respect somebody, who accuses somebody of stealing money from them and using them, and then going back and talking to them. I'm sorry, I just can't fucking respect that with no apology or anything. Like, it would be one thing if Laura came to her and apologized and made it right, but she didn't do that. It's the same way I feel about people running back into Diane's chats. I'm like, Diane never apologized to people. I mean, look, it's up to you to forgive her or not forgive her. I'm saying, for me personally, I wouldn't do it. I'm not going to go back in Diane's chats to support anything that she does, because to me, she never fucking owned what she did. That's all. Every time I hear Karen, reminds me of Goodfellas, right? The bitch isn't even bothering you. Oh, why? Whoa, why is everybody fighting in my chat? Please don't. What's going on here? We're talking about silver in her mouth, because Mercedes girl, I don't even see them in chat anymore. Oh, yeah. The last thing they said is she should have done the recommended treatments. That's the last thing I seen them say. They're not talking to you anymore. And then she said she didn't need the last one. Well, she said that, though. I don't think her doctor said that. I didn't hear the stream that she did, like the whole thing on that. So I don't know. Or did I? I don't know. I don't remember if I went back and listened, because I came in halfway. I don't know what her doctor's, feelings were on that. But hold on. Oh, it's like bird whistle. I don't know if her doctors, necessarily agreed, or, I mean, they can't force you to do treatment. You have, rights as a patient to refuse treatment, and she could do that. That's totally fine. I just don't think that, I don't know if the doctors were all that. I just know from past experience that doctors are not too happy when you come walking in the office with shit from Google. That I know. And then she's like, it's poison. I mean, look, dude, chemo kills cells. That's what it does. And it's not the best thing in the world for you. And I'm sure it's not, it's not great for you, but it's life-saving, and to be calling it poison, I don't know, dude. I just think that's a little irresponsible. You don't want other people following suit. Oh, well, I know somebody who, only did 3 treatments, so I'm going to only do 3, because this person said it was okay, because everybody's situation is different. Your cancer treatments, everybody's different. So, I mean, I don't know, man. Dr. Google ain't good. Dr. Google ain't good. That's all I'm saying. And that's all I was trying to say the other day when I was talking about Tawanda sending her that article, is that, Dr. Google, I don't fucking care where the article came from, Tawanda. It doesn't even fucking matter. My whole point in saying that was just that you should rely first and foremost on your doctor's opinion, because they have all your information. They have all your blood work and all of your scans and everything like that. And so, for them to decide the best course of treatment for you personally, that's who I would go with. Not the Google, not some study I found, because, if you actually read these studies, like Laura brought up that study about breast cancer causing tooth decay, and she was completely fucking wrong, because she didn't even read the study, or whatever it was. It was really the chemo after the, having breast cancer that caused some problems with people's teeth. She totally read it wrong. I don't think the eclipse starts here. It's 1:30. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you could read that study and find out that the participants in the study were, premenopausal women or some shit. Like, I didn't read it. I'm just saying, like, I didn't read the exact study because I know she'll be like, it said this or that, whatever. I'm just saying, you know, it doesn't apply necessarily to everybody. You can't just read some study and think it applies to every single person because every case is different. You have all different scores and levels and shit like that. So it's not really a one size fits all treatment. Hmm. Yeah, radiation has to be every day for a reason, which is, inconvenient again. That's even more inconvenient. That's why I'm saying, I'm like, you're going to do the radiation, but not, you know, because that's more intense. I support self advocating, but you have to be realistic. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's not visible where you are, cupcakes? I don't even know because there's so many clouds in the sky. I don't even know if we're going to be able to see it. Hold on. I probably shouldn't look up at the sun because I don't have sunglasses on right now. No, the studies, I mean, while fascinating, okay, aren't always correct. And especially when it's still in clinical trials, like, you got to be careful with that shit. I don't know. I just like, I learned my lesson with bringing Google articles into doctors. They don't like that shit. I know that. There's no doctor out there that's like going to be like, oh, wow, you found this on Google. Tell me more. Like, no, I didn't feel the earthquake. Everybody was texting me. It was so funny, asking me if I felt it. We were in, where were we? I was right by Penn State by the time the earthquake hit, so we didn't feel anything. We were at a Cracker Barrel actually in Penn State. My son bought the weirdest thing in Cracker Barrel. I'm like, you are definitely my kid because he buys the weirdest shit. He had some money, and just like any other kid, it just burns a hole in his pocket. He held on to it for a little bit. He really wanted this sweatshirt. There was some YouTuber, I forgot the guy's name, that he wants this sweatshirt, and he was asking for it. So I told him, save your money and you get the sweatshirt. So, his grandparents sent him money for Easter, and then anytime I find money like in the laundry or whatever, I just give it to him because I hate carrying cash. So if I ever have cash, I just give it to him. I'm like, here, put it in your like bank or whatever. Hold on to it. So anyway, he comes running out of Cracker Barrel because I was sleeping. I slept, and I never sleep in the car. But I mean, we had woken up 5 o'clock in the morning on Friday, so I was out. I was so tired. So anyway, I slept for pretty much a whole ride out of New York for like 3 hours in the car, which is shocking because I never ever sleep in the car because I'm usually too nervous to like sleep because I'm like, if we're gonna die, like I want to see my last seconds of life. Like I don't want to be sleeping. Like I want to see it. So anyway, I fell asleep and I woke up, when we pulled into Cracker Barrel. My husband's like him and my son just get out of the car. And they're like, I'm like, dude, like, I gotta wake up for a second. Like, I can't just wake up and run into Cracker Barrel. So I was like smoking a cigarette in the car, fixing my hair and shit, changing my shoes because I had like my fucking dirty, crappy Uggs on, you know, and whatever. So I'm like sitting in the car, and my son, he comes running out of the Cracker Barrel with the bag. He's like all excited. He's like, Mom, you're not gonna believe what I got. I'm like, what? And I'm like waiting for him to pull out like something cool, like some candy. No, what does he get? A Bob Ross fucking stuffed animal thing. Plushie, sorry. It's a plushie. Bob Ross plushie. I'm like, what? Like that is like the most random thing ever. I'm like, of all the things in the world that I thought this kid was gonna come running out of Cracker Barrel with, that was probably the last thing on the list. I was like, all right, man, whatever floats your boat. He wanted it. Bob Ross. It is pretty cool, I gotta say. It's kind of cool. But I was kind of like, what? Like, because they have like cool little games and shit in there, like all sorts of like weird shit. He comes out with a Bob Ross plushie. I'm like, the fuck? I was like, all right, dude. So I guess you don't want that sweatshirt anymore. But no, he's still asking for the sweatshirt. Bob Ross is awesome. I was a big fan when I was a kid. I mean, I used to sit there and watch Bob Ross like whenever it was on, because I was just so fucking amazed how he took a like palette knife and made a fucking tree in like 2.2 seconds. Like, it's really, his paintings were I mean, I'm not even into that type of painting, like landscapes and shit, but like his ability and like the way he did it so fast was just fucking amazing. Yeah, we grew up in such better times, man. You know, Bob Ross, he was the shit. He was cool. He was big fro. My son knew a lot about him too. It's not like he just like haphazardly bought this Bob Ross thing too, because he was telling me that, you know, he couldn't cut his hair because his hair was famous, you know, and all this shit. So he didn't know, you know. I guess he watches Bob Ross videos on YouTube or something. I don't know. But I'm still fucking amazed by his shoo, the happy little trees. Like, it was just so relaxing. I wish it was like on during the time where I smoked tons of weed. But honestly, he gave a lot of really good painting tips. Like, I remember even when I was in art school and I got older, I like started to follow some of his painting tips. Like, I remembered some of them. He was a very good artist. So wait, is Tracy look, she probably is lying. Is she live or is she just making a community post? Now I could look. Hold on, because I was on my phone. And now I'm on the laptop. Don't worry, Ovi, it's not our Amazon. Bro, my neighbors, legit, I'm not even fucking around. They get Amazon orders like 3 times a day. Amazon truck is pulling up at these people's houses. I don't know what the fuck they're ordering, but holy shit, I've never seen people order that much shit off Amazon in my life. All right. What was I looking at? I totally just forgot. Oh, bye, Mercedes girl. Oh, she's scheduled to go live. Mega Monster. Like, does she realize I'm not fucking kidding when I say this? I do not listen to her live streams. I don't. So like, if you're talking to me, you're wasting your breath, Tracy. I'm just telling you this. Like, I don't listen to your live streams. So trying to like admonish me, it's wasting your breath. Like, you're really just doing it for other people, because I am not listening. I don't care if you care that I care. Why can't I care is the question. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it was anybody else, I would probably say the same fucking thing. I mean, shit. But if you share something on here publicly, then people have a right to comment on it. I don't give a fuck what it is. So I don't know why she doesn't understand that. She just needs a fucking reason to go live. I get some fucking super chats. Maybe she needs to get her fucking nails done or something. I gotta bring Lolly to the vet. What's the dog's name? I don't even know what the fucking new dog's name is. Nor do I fucking care. Honestly. She doesn't care. She wants another JP video. No, she just probably has no fucking reason to go live, like, whatsoever. So she just fires a live up. And you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, Mega Monster talking. Like, she was probably just sitting there with bated breath waiting for me to go live today. She probably like fucking had her alarm clock set. Mega Monster's not live yet. What's going on? Where's she been? Fucking asshole. She's going live to do the same thing you're doing. Yeah, she's going live. It's like, bro, like, that's what people like her, and actually her whole little fucking crew of Karens amaze me, because they're like, they're always asking, like, why does this one care about this and why does that one care about that? Well, I mean, like, why do you care that other people care about things? Like, you know, we could keep asking that. I'm pretty honest about like why I do what I do. Like, I'm not sitting here trying to act like, oh, you know, I'm perfect and I don't fucking talk shit. No, I come on here, I talk shit, and I fucking am fascinated by fucked up people like Laura. Like, I'm pretty honest about it. I don't think I could get much more honest about it. You know? She's a fucking idiot, dude. Seriously. Like, just get a fucking life, Tracy. I mean, she does the same thing. That's what I don't fucking get. She does the same thing that she's so fucking mad about. So fucking mad about. Just look at her fucking wall of fucking Karenisms. Here, hold on. Oh my god, this asshole's still up on my fucking screen. Chasing truth. By the way, these fucking people make me absolutely sick. Okay? These fucking true crime assholes. I'm so fucking done with all of them. There was a live stream, a video from this channel. What the fuck is it called? Evil Exists. And they have a stupid fucking robot voice on all their videos, And this fucking asshole, all these assholes, okay? They're like, oh, the little boy that's missing, okay? Holy shit, his name just totally like slipped out of my head. You guys know what I'm talking about. The little 15-year-old boy that's missing. He's so cute. The more I see pictures of this kid, the more I'm like falling in love with like him. You know what I'm saying? Not like that, but I'm saying like the more sad it's making me because I'm like he just seems like such an adorable kid, and probably was so much fun to be around. So anyway, somebody said that they spotted him at a speedway. And, instead of calling the police, they fucking give the tip to JLR of all people, right? Because he's fucking credible. And like all these channels are like going with this shit. And I'm like thinking, dude, if JLR had to report the tip, then chances are there was no tip. Okay. Because if you actually saw this kid, Sebastian, that's his name, Rogers, sorry, it just like slipped my brain for a second. It just popped right back in. Like if somebody saw this kid, they would be calling the police, dude. They wouldn't fucking tell JLR. So stupid. And these channels are reporting this shit like it's legit. I'm like, you fucking people just suck, honestly. Oh shit. Hold on. Oh, that was an old StreamYard. Sorry. I thought I lost you guys for a second. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, it just sucks, dude. Stop with this bullshit. So sad. So sad. And I'm sorry. I think both of the parents are fucking, at this point in time, like, stay off the internet, dude. All the parents, stay off the internet. You guys are doing yourselves no favors. And you're doing your kid no favor at this point in time. Going on all these random YouTubers channels. Like, that's what scares me about this shit is that we all know who Bullhorn Betty is and Olivia and JLR, right? We know these people. Not that we know them well, but we know what they do on here. These other people that aren't in this community and don't, do the whole YouTube thing, they don't know. They don't know these people. So they go to JLR's channel and they see 100,000 subscribers there or whatever he has at this point, and they're like, oh, this guy must be legit. He has like 100,000 subscribers. So they go to his channel, and they might start talking to this guy thinking that he's like a legitimate source, which without knowing his past, which I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck if people say he changed or didn't change. Just knowing that guy's past, I'm sorry. Like, I hate to judge people exclusively on their past. I just wouldn't, I would be very weary of talking to him. So, it's like, come on. Oh my God, look at what Tracy writes. Tracy, this woman can never think up her own insults. Long Island Karens and New York City Karens are not the same. Like, Tracy, I call you a fucking Karen, so you need to find your own. No, he hasn't changed. I know that, but some people think he did. You have to come up with your own insults, okay? I don't think you know what a Karen is, probably because you are one, but yeah. Long Island Karens and New York City Karens are not the same. What does that have to do with anything, Tracy? What is who's a New York City Karen? Like, what does that have to, like, you suck, dude, at this. Long Island Karens and New York City Karens are not the same. I don't even know what the fuck that means. Is that supposed to be funny? Because it's just stupid. You sound like a fucking idiot. You should probably learn. This is a fucking Karen right here. Here. Look at the haircut. She literally encompasses. Look at this. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Let's go here. I hate giving this fucking asshole attention. I really do. Hold on. Karens. Okay. If we Google a picture of Karens, whose haircut is closer? Oh, it just sounded like Laura there. Whose haircut? I did like the little weird voice thing. Like, who looks more Karen-esque? Me or Tracy? Who's got the short buzz cut? Like like that. Yeah, that would be you, Tracy. That would be you. Okay. I mean, seriously, look at this embodiment of Karening. I mean, she's got the bangs and the whole shebang, the whole fucking look. But whatever, dude. Do you think I'm bothered that you calling me a Long Island Karen? Like, I don't fucking care, Tracy. Who's like, I just don't understand the comparison. Is there somebody from New York or what? Long Island Karens and New York City Karens are not the same. Like, she's just like, I'm gonna Google Long Island Karens. Okay. Okay. I don't get it, but okay. Oh, let's see. Let's see where she got that from. Long Island Karens. Let's see. Long Island Karens. Let's see. I mean, but like Tracy, get your own fucking shit. Will ya? Get your own. I don't see anything like that. So stupid. All right. Anyway, back to how much of a fucking Karen she is. Like, dude, like, think of something else, Tracy. Come up with something else. Because you're the fucking Karen. Oh my God, look at this. Holy shit, bro. Yo, this woman literally wakes up every day just to be angry. Don't you have a monkey to harass? A monkey, yeah, Tracy. I harass monkeys. Don't I have... Dude, the fucking monkey channel thing, like, that's the best you could do, Tracy. That shit was 3 fucking years ago, dude. I haven't even updated that shit for 3 fucking years, and you're still talking about it. Don't you have a monkey to harass? Oh my God, I snorted, sorry. I could just sit here, picture her sitting there typing, don't you have a monkey to harass? Oh, that's genius. Like, what the fuck, you idiot? Hold on, I gotta fucking heat my coffee up again. Where's my damn Yeti cup? Don't you have a monkey to harass? Oh my God, this is so funny. Yeah, Tracy, I do. You're so right there. Yeah, Tracy, I harass monkeys. You know, that's what I do. I just sit there harassing monkeys all day. Where the fuck and how the fuck would I harass a monkey? I mean, shit. Not for nothing. If anybody's doing harassing, I think monkeys are the ones who harass people. Just saying. I was actually watching this channel this weekend. The fuck is the name of it? They got these really funny videos, like these rhesus macaque troop that lives in like the temples in India. And you know, in India, they like pray to monkey gods and shit, you know, like the monkey's a sacred animal in India. And they're fucking insane. I could never, dude, first of all, wherever the fuck they're filming this shit in India, I mean, it is one of the most dirty, disgusting fucking places. And you know, I've noticed this since I've been watching monkey videos years ago when I started watching them. Because you know, unlike Tracy, I like to watch things that are like relaxing and not fucking just drama all day long, you know, things that don't make me that angry. But anyway, some of the places where these monkeys live, like Cambodia, Thailand, India, I mean, dude, you got to see how fucking dirty these places are. Like, and they say like America produces so much waste, which we do. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying that, like, I mean, no wonder there's a fucking hole in the ozone layer. If you look at these countries and like the fucking garbage, and these countries are beautiful places, you know, like beautiful places. And they're just, dude, there's trash everywhere. Just fucking so dirty and disgusting looking. Ugh, it's horrible. But anyway. Yeah, Tracy, how the fuck am I harassing a monkey? Is the monkey typing the emails to me, Tracy? God, you're stupid. Anyway, why do you care about Laura ditching her last chemo makeup monster? Why do you care that I care, Tracy? That's the real question. Why do you care that I care or don't care? Why? Like, that's the real question. Oh my God. Tell me you're looking for attention without telling me you're looking for attention, Tracy. This woman's so pathetic. All right. Nothing would give you more joy than if Laura died. What? Wait a second. We can't have this both ways. So, all right, the same people, the same person that's saying this is like, oh, I couldn't live without Laura, right? I couldn't live without her. She has said that before. I couldn't live without Laura. My whole life is revolved around Laura. So why would I get joy if she died? You know? Look, I mean, Tracy, first of all, fuck you for saying that. How the fuck do you know what I feel in my heart? I would not be happy if anybody died. Okay, that's sick that you even think like that, to be quite honest with you. Because I personally, like, the only time I think I've ever felt happy that somebody died was like when they fucking killed Osama bin Laden. I think that was like the only time in my life that I actually was like, you know what? This is a good death. This is a celebratory moment. Other than that, I would never be happy because you know what that would mean, Tracy? That would mean that children are left without a mother. So why would I be sitting here talking and saying that, you know, I think Laura's quite stupid for not fucking doing her chemo treatment, you know, not thinking about her children. I mean, really, Tracy, you think I would be happy? Like, what kind of sick fuck says things like that? The only kind of sick fuck that says things like that is somebody who actually thinks like that, who would be happy if people died. You're a sick fuck, honestly. See, look, nothing would give you more joy than if Laura died, but that would mean your channel would die. Carry on, but I'm going to go live. I mean, you're a fucking Karen, Tracy. Let's read the definition of a fucking Karen. Oh my God, you suck at this. Karen. See, what's a Karen? Let's see. Think a Karen, somebody who just fucking inserts themselves. Okay. Maybe it doesn't. Sorry, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't apply to Tracy. Karen is a term used as slang typically for a middle-class white American. I don't know if Tracy's middle class. She might be a little below there, but woman who is perceived as entitled or excessively demanding beyond the scope of what is considered to be normal behavior and decorum. That kind of sounds like you, Tracy. The term is often portrayed in memes depicting middle-class white women who use their white class and privilege to demand their own way. Yeah, Tracy, that's totally me, dude. Totally me. You know, because I'm the racist one over here. It's not you that's the racist. It's totally me. Totally. Depictions include demanding to speak to the manager, being racist, or wearing a particular bob cut hairstyle. It was popularized in the aftermath of the Central Park bird watching incident. What the fuck is that? I never heard of that. Yeah. I don't know, Tracy. That sounds a little more like you. But hey, you know, fucking dumb bitch. All right. I'm done with you. You're annoying. It's changed over time to be more encompassing. Yeah, sure. It has evolved. But she's definitely a Karen. I mean, why a perfect example of somebody being a Karen is just like flipping out for no fucking reason, right? The way she is, worrying about what I'm doing. Like, Tracy, you're such a Gladys Kravitz. It's not even funny. Why? That's why I said she's a fucking yenta, and I stand by that shit. Because she is. She's like a washwoman. Tracy'd be sitting there with her little fucking washboard thing, you know, talking all the town's gossip there. Why does this one care? Why does that one care? Like, why do you fucking care, though, is the real question. Seriously, go to a higher frequency, Karen. She has been dying for my attention. She certainly has. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe I keep her, like, on her toes, you know? Like, I don't know. Maybe she has, like, honestly, what else is she thinking about all day? She probably has, like, if you, like, put those, like, probes on her head and, like, measured her brain activity on, like, a normal day, it's probably flatlined, like, you know? So maybe, like, I don't know, maybe, like, when she talks about me, she gets some brain activity going, gets the juices flowing. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck it is, but god damn, girl, I don't fucking care about you, for fuck's sakes. Nobody's listening to your stupid live. Why is Mega Monster care about Laura's? She'd like nothing more than to see Laura die, but then her channel would die. Yeah, Tracy, my channel is contingent on Laura being here. Because, you know, For the 8, to be honest with you, my channel died since I started talking about Laura. I mean, let's just be honest. I had a lot of momentum going. My channel was growing, and it's died because I do talk about Laura. It's pretty stagnant because the mass majority of people don't fucking care about Laura Tracy. I mean, let's just be real. But again, I don't care if my channel died tomorrow, I would be fine because my life would just go on, you know? I still have other things in life that make me happy. I know you don't understand that because you don't seek happiness anywhere. I think all you do is seek misery. But yes, I would still be happy. She thinks about my vagina. Yeah, she does. Remember how triggered she was that like Barnyard, talked about her. We don't need to hear about your vagina anymore. It's like, dude, why do you care? Just like don't watch. Like Tracy is a perfect example of like, if you're gonna get that angry, like just don't watch me, dude. Why are you watching me? Like, if I set you off that much, why the fuck are you watching me, man? My vagina is running through her mind. I don't think your vagina is the only one that's running through her mind. Just saying. Talking about Laura is easy. There's so much new material daily. There really is. I mean, it's like, Tracy, why did you talk about Laura for fucking like 3 years straight? Why do you care what Wendy and Randy are doing? You don't like them, but I don't care why you care because I don't think about you, man. I don't watch you. I don't think about you. I don't fucking care about you. I don't think I think she just wants to get at me. Like she wants to get to me so bad. Like she wants to hurt my feelings, like I have to assume that's what it is. And it's like, Tracy, you are never going to hurt my feelings because it's you. Like, I don't fucking care what you think about me, dude. I don't know why you don't seem to get that. You're a miserable human who has nothing really going for her in life. I don't care. I don't want to see any cooches. No, me neither. Private J doesn't run through anyone's mind anymore. That shit broke years ago. Oh, Jesus. Don't say that. I don't care about a journey that doesn't mean. I mean, like, dude, like, you got to be a sick fuck to think that somebody would be happy if somebody died. I would never be happy about somebody's death. Like, that is just so stupid to even say that. And it kind of just shows, it really says more about Tracy than it does about me. That you even think people sit there and celebrate death. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Imagine Tracy. Oh, speaking of fucking Nunya, girl, sit the fuck down. That bitch. I heard the panel with you. I did not. There's no fucking way you could pay me to sit through Willow's entire live stream because that guy's like a flag. He just goes through whatever way the wind blows him, he's going. And I agree. I agree with that. Yeah, I agree. And then the next person gets up. I agree with that. It's like, oh my God, dude. But anyway, I went and listened to the part where Nunya comes up to, admonish you, like her and Tracy, Karen's fucking galore. Anyway, she's up on the panel, and I'm just like, who the fuck does this bitch think she is? Like, why is she always got to get up there like she's like the mommy of YouTube and start like lecturing everybody? Ugh, she's fucking annoying, man. God, that woman's annoying. She's got to always jump up on paddles and start mothering people, like you're like a little kid or something. Oh, it's okay to dox people. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Like, girl, you a whole ass catfish liar. All right. So I think you need to stop. Stop it, girl. Just stop. Sanctimonious. Yes. Now you think she's a prophet of YouTube. Yeah, she certainly does. She's like, girl, it's like, I don't even know where she comes from. She just pops up on these chats, these random chats, like start, talking down to people. Holy shit, is she condescending? She also doxed someone. Yeah, she did. Look, that woman's involved in more fuck shit than she wants people to believe. Okay? I can't with that one. I just can't. She's like, Sanctimonious, yes. Good way to describe her is making a show of being morally superior to other people. That is, I mean, there is no better way to describe them. Oh, she also taunted people and doxed them in Facebook groups. Well, that's great. Fuck. No, you could say what you want, Beefers. Don't worry about my chat. You're, you know, I mean, she totally. Look, I'm just gonna be straight up, and I don't give a fuck what color her skin is, but I could have sworn that she told everybody she was a black woman. And am I fucking wrong here? Okay. Then I see a picture of her, and I'm like, girl. Now I'm not saying she can't be like, um, half black and half white. I mean, but I don't know, girl. I don't know. That was shocking in and of itself. Cause like it's like I don't know. I don't know what her heritage is, but what I seen on panel looked like a white woman. If at least if she's black, she presents white. That's all I know. Okay. She is white passing by a long shot. But I mean, she made it seem like she was a woman of color to the fullest, from what I remember. And when I seen a picture of her that was getting circulated around, I was like, I'm very confused. Like, what the fuck is going on here? The thing is, no one was doxxed in JP's chat. Dave came to YouTube under his name, then changed it to Sinner. I have screenshots. But, well, that's like saying Laura. That's like Laura saying she's doxxed. She said it the other day. I was doxxed on by Alicia's panel, whatever, Starlight. First of all, Laura changed like a fucking idiot. I don't know if they changed it since then, but like I think they have. A couple of years back, okay, you could only change your YouTube name like every 90 days, I believe it was. So Laura, for whatever reason, decided to change her YouTube name. And, because she rushes through everything, she must have not read, I don't know. And she typed her full name in there, like her government name in there, and then her channel was stuck as that for years, for like, well, at least 90 days. And then I think she left it up there longer than the 90 days, to be quite honest with you. But okay, fine. She did that. So everybody knows what her name is. And then for a very long time, people pretty much addressed her only by her last name. I didn't do it, but a lot of other people did. They called her by her last name. So how could you sit here crying that you're doxxed? The other thing is, if you go on Laura's PayPal, okay, well, her links that she has up on her channel, her PayPal, her Patreon, her website, all have her fucking name all over it. So it's like, girl, like, you're not doing such a great job of sharing, like, hiding your information. Your address is up on your website, like everything. So you're not doing the great, or it was, I don't know if it still is, but like, you're not doing the greatest job of hiding your information. So to cry that you were doxxed, I mean, come on, girl, stop. But first of all, a first name isn't, I mean, I personally don't consider that a dox. You really can't find out somebody's first name. I just don't say people's first names just out of respect. I might know your first name. I'm not going to say it though. That's just a respect thing. I mean, you can't find somebody really from their first name, especially a name that common. But yeah, she's like, let people dox. I mean, come on, I don't know. I don't really know if that's a dox necessarily. I still have that stream, all of them. They are just transferred to another channel and unlisted. Which stream? That's where I knew that name from, his Discord name. Yeah. I mean, look, I don't watch those two people. Sinner, I don't watch them. I don't like, I don't know. I don't find them all that interesting. What I do find weird though is that dude his voice sounds so similar to AB. It's kind of scary. I know he's not AB. I'm just saying their voices are very similar. It's like fucking weird. It reminds me of Bad Wolf and 180. Their voices were almost the same. Does anybody remember that younger girl who was at uni and was like studying the community? Chill on lives. Oh, yes, I do. I had an argument with her on the panel. Remember, she came on my panel and then Just Angel ripped her a new asshole, that girl. I was like trying to be nice to her. She was getting on my nerves, but Just Angel was like, fuck this shit. She just went all fucking in on her. It was funny. Yeah, it was Sunflower Bee or some shit like that. Something Bee. It's not a dox. It's just easy to use people's channel names and not their real government names. He does the same to her, and it's equally as childish. Yeah, I agree. I mean, look, I try not to use people's first names here. It's not cool, you know? If you have weather centers on the wall, moon showing for tonight on mine. I remember that girl. Yeah, he sounds like he has some deep-seated anger issues. Like that's just somebody I'd like to avoid. He's too up in the women's drama, dude, for my liking. Like right there, no offense, I kind of question you. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're that angry towards women on the internet, I'm good on you, dude. Like you ain't somebody I want in my fucking circle. I think that happened on my panel. No, I had an argument with her on my panel. It was actually pertaining to Diane. And she said she was like studying the community. She was like 19. And we were like, she was trying to argue with me. I believe at the time, actually, when I argued with her, it had something to do with fucking, what's her name? Corey and the baby story. Her bullshit story about having a baby beaten out of her or something. Yeah, she was very Patrick. I can't say that word. Yeah. I'm not a star, but clicks or for real. She could kiss my ass with her whole catfish mouth. Who is that, Nunya? Yeah. Well, hey, there's Angel. Angel, remember that chick that came up on my panel? And I think it had to do with Corey. And I was saying she don't act like an abuse victim. And we got in a fight with her. The little 19-year-old girl said she was like studying us. Some weird shit. Sunflower Bee. Yeah, I think that was her name. Oh, I agree, Donna. If people don't want to be called by their first name, they shouldn't be called by their first name. Here, that's it. I mean, it's easy enough to respect that, but he also called other people. He's guy's fucking weird. I'm just gonna choose to stay away from him. I can't even listen to the guy, to be quite honest with you. I'm just like, you bored me to tears. No thanks. There's just some people here that like I can't get into, and those two are one of them. Like I can't sit through their live streams. God bless you guys that do out there. For me, I just can't do it. I have no interest. I don't know where she went. I wonder how her study went. Like I'd like to know her research paper that she did. The all-knowing 19-year-old, because 19-year-olds are just like they know everything in the world. He seems just like Laura. He probably is very much like her, which is why they all flock in her chat. Although some of like that Chronicles of the Shady, I think it was that person was in Tiffany's chat the other day. Me thinks Laura's losing some people. She does the same. She just done it in this chat. They're both doing it to each other. I agree. I don't call first unless it's part of the channel name. Sometimes people offend such a broad number of people. It's unacceptable. Laura needs to date Sinner. I think he's taken though. Is him and the other chick like a thing? Are they like an item they share? I'm sorry, but sharing a fucking channel is as lame as sharing a Facebook page. And if you share a Facebook page, sorry, but it's fucking lame. Get your own goddamn identity, all right? All right. I'm not into that shit. Couples sharing pages, like that tell us you have trust issues without telling us you have trust issues. I mean, like, I understand doing panels together. Like, I'm not saying that, but like, if they actually share the channel, I don't know. It's kind of strange, but do you? I just wouldn't personally do it. Because she said when she was in medical school, and I was like, well, that's a lie unless you're a prodigy. Yeah, well, that's also a lie because like who the fuck in medical school has enough time to sit around arguing with middle-aged women on the internet? You know, like if I was in college right now, the last fucking thing I would be doing is arguing with people on the internet. Older women. Like fuck out of here. I heard they were an item. I don't know. I don't know. That makes a little more sense then. See, like, I don't even know because I really don't watch them. Like, I have no idea what's going on with that whole situation. A lot of people, like, in my Discord follow them. I don't follow them. I don't know. I just can't get into it, you know? Oh, they don't share the channel. It's in her name. Yeah, but how is he able to do strikes from her channel then? Wow, there's the name he goes by. His Discord name is Dave Listener, so I'm not sure his name is written if he doesn't like it. Good point. Good point. I don't think he gets that triggered. I think he's pretending to be that triggered because he's just clearly looking for like a Tracy. You know, Tracy's over there just looking for a fight. Like she needs attention. She's looking for a fight. Why's there, Tracy? Why can't I care? You know what I'm saying? Like you have this. I think I would treat someone to death. Up. I'm somebody on YouTube, but like I don't wish people to die. Like that's pretty evil shit there, and I'm not into that. I mean, there's very few people on this planet. Maybe if my brother's wife dropped dead, I'd be a little excited, all right? But that's about it. But like she affected my real life, Tracy, my family life. But I still wouldn't be all that excited because you know what? She has 2 daughters, and I would feel sorry for them. I would. Because you know what? She's still somebody's mother. And, you know, even if I think she's a piece of shit, I mean, I'm sure her kids love her. I was watching yesterday on the way home, I was watching little Tupac documentaries. Holy shit, that's a rabbit hole in and of itself because you know what? The more I'm watching, the more I'm starting to realize that I think this whole P. Diddy thing is I don't know if it's bullshit or what, but you know them Diddy and even Tupac and Suge Knight and all them, dude, they've been being followed by the feds since the 90s. They've been Tupac had a security guy on his team that was an undercover FBI agent watching them. I mean, there's like all documentaries and shit about this. This goes way back. So, I mean, it's kind of bullshit. I don't know, you know, I'm not saying that the feds aren't watching him, but here's my whole point. He was aware at some point in time, he was made aware that there was an investigation, okay, going on between him, I believe having to, you know, do something with drugs or something. So, I mean, knowing that, right? Knowing that you're such a large figure and you're being, you know, watched by the feds and shit, why would you be doing something that illegal? I don't know. Well, yeah, the cops were corrupt. I know that they were, but nevertheless, they were being watched. Is my point. You know, the cops that were. I'm not talking about the cops. Well, the FBI agent too, but there was other feds watching Puff Daddy and them. I'm not talking about the Tupac incident necessarily. I'm talking about Diddy uh and Biggie actually were being watched back then because Little C's, who was Biggie's like protege, he was his, you know, they grew up together, they were friends, and he was in Junior Mafia. Little C's actually did he actually, you know, spoke to the cops as a witness, and the cops brought him photographs and showed him the photographs of them out and about, like the FBI pictures. And so he saw. So they knew that the feds were watching them for quite some time at the time. And that's really a great question is like, where were the feds when Biggie got shot then? If they were watching. So, you know, that's why, and it makes perfect sense of all the theories I've heard of the Tupac and Biggie murders. To be honest, That one makes the most sense because I just cannot believe that this day and age, this crime has went unsolved. These two crimes have went unsolved for this long. It's like very hard to believe that they don't know who killed Biggie and Tupac. You know, I mean, even going back into the 90s, okay, 1996, it's very hard to say that there wasn't they. It's not like they were in, like unpopulated areas. When they got killed, they got shot in the middle of the street in populated areas. You're telling me there was no witnesses? Come on. Suge Knight saw the killer. I listened to some interviews last night where he says that he goes, it wasn't Orlando Anderson, okay, who was the shooter, who was the nephew of the guy Keith VD, who was recently arrested in with connection to the Tupac murder. He swears, and then the other people there say it wasn't him either. But if you know it wasn't him, then you have to know who it was. Maybe not know the person by name, but you have to know that it was somebody else. You can't, you then to be able to know it's not him, you have to know who it is. Do you know what I'm saying? So there has to be some type of description he could give. Suge Knight. But nobody in the whole story, that's the one thing I realized last night, nobody involved with the story has told the truth. There's no truth tellers in this whole entire story because they were all involved in really shady fuck shit with gangs, and the police were involved. They had DAs in their pocket, and there's nobody's been honest since day one, which makes it more believable that the LAPD, which we already know is corrupt as fuck, right? I mean, going back, how many stories has there been? Not everybody. I'm just saying there's definitely a lot of corruption in LA in their police station. Going back a long, long, long time ago, right? So it makes sense that there's a massive cover up from the police, and that the police were somehow involved in the shootings, both of them, because they do play the thing where Dan Quayle. I asked my husband last night while I'm watching this. I'm like, do you really think Dan Quayle sat there and listened to Tupac? I'm like, and then how did you sit there and listen to Tupac and not fucking enjoy his music? Like, I'm sorry, but like, the guy was a fucking. Even if you don't like rap music, which I do, I love it. But like, even if you didn't like rap music, you have to have a respect for the art form and for his poetry. I mean, really, there's not, many rappers out there that could write like him. Besides maybe Nas, Biggie, storytellers, basically. No, it's a never-ending rabbit hole. There's so many different conspiracies, but the one that I feel there's the most evidence to support is the Suge Knight police, West versus East. It was a gang war, and they just took Tupac. I feel like Tupac and Biggie were just innocent, not innocent, but yeah, in a sense, innocent bystanders. Like, I watched a whole thing with his mom last night, Biggie's mom, and like, the people that they portrayed in their music and shit wasn't necessarily who they were. They're telling the story of their people, not necessarily their own lives. I mean, the only one I think really tells the story of his own actual life is DMX, because he really lived a shit life growing up. And there's evidence to back that up. And he was in and out of group homes, and like, he talks about all of that in his music. But Tupac had a rough life too. I'm not saying he didn't. So some of his shit is the truth. But Biggie, as far as he goes, like, he pretty much grew up in the, yes, single parent house, but his mom claims that, like he says, his one room shack, like, they didn't live in a one room shack. The mother was actually very educated and had money always to provide for him. So everybody's outside watching the eclipse. I don't see anything. I see the sun, but there's no moon yet. Yeah, DMX is the goat. He that was the goat. He still is the goat. I fucking love him. He's definitely one of my top ones. I love Nas too. I don't know. I really can't pick. My favorite's Biggie. I mean, that just goes without saying. Tupac's up there. I can never pick, one. But anyway, I was like, is Dan Quayle really listening to Tupac? Like, come on. Or did somebody just quote his music? Because it's like, come on, dude. You ain't listening to Tupac. sitting there. He probably secretly sat in his car bumping Tupac, while he's driving. But there might have been, there might have been at that time some type of conspiracy for the police. I don't know. The only thing that's missing for me with the whole police theory is a motive. What motive did the police have to kill Tupac and Biggie? There's more of a motive for Suge Knight or Puffy, right, to kill him, because they gained from it. Well, I guess if the police, maybe they were getting paid. I don't know, but I just don't see the motive there. I see more of a motive that there was talk that Tupac was going to leave Death Row Records, but the people that were with Death Row said he was never going to leave. But, there was talk saying that he was going to leave Death Row Records, and Suge Knight owed him like tens of millions of dollars, and he was going to have Suge Knight audited. And then once that happened, shit would have, were in trouble. So they basically killed him to silence him. But then, okay, then we have to explain Biggie's death. I will say Suge Knight is a very shady character. And I mean, you just can't get the truth out of that guy, because some people say he was hit. And that's a good point too. Why would you put yourself in harm's way, right? If you're planning to set somebody up to have them killed, why would you sit in the car? Like Diddy, that's more believable that Diddy set up Biggie, right? Because he wasn't even in the same car as Biggie. He was in the truck behind Biggie. But there's a lot of weird shit that went down the night Tupac got, shot. There was the fight that happened, right? After they left the Tyson fight, there was a fight in the hotel lobby or whatever. And they say that they set that whole fight up, as a basically to make the guy Orlando Anderson or whatever his name was, the kind of patsy, I guess, in a sense, right? Like they made Tupac have that fight. Like they said that he snatched a chain or something. Also, they made sure none of the security guards were armed that night, which is strange. But it could also be explained that they weren't in Cali and they only had permits to carry in. They didn't apply soon enough to get one to carry in Nevada. I mean, it's kind of hard to say, but they didn't have their radios, which is another weird thing. I guess typically they carried like radios. So that's kind of weird, And Suge Knight has told different stories, but also I noticed an inconsistency in some of the people that were there, his bodyguard stories. The bodyguard tells the story that he came out from behind the car, ran up, opened the door, grabbed Tupac out, and laid him on the ground, okay? But then there's testimony of the cop that actually was the first one to show up on the scene. And he said he got up to the car. Tupac was still laying in there. He thought he was going to get into a shootout because he didn't know. At the time when he was approaching them, first of all, he was on a bicycle. And he just kind of ended up being in the right place at the right time, so to speak, right? And he, what do you call it? He said when he got up to the car, Tupac was in the car, and he opened the door and his body kind of, slumped out of the car. So like, who's telling the truth? I'm going to take the cop's word over the bodyguard, but I don't know. Because then if the bodyguard story was true and they pulled Tupac out of the car, then the cop would have came to the scene and his body would have already been out of the car. So that doesn't make any sense. So everybody that was involved in their little crew was corrupt, and that's why you're not getting true stories out of any of those people. Now, do I think Diddy could have had something to do with, all of this shit? Sure. I mean, why not? But I don't know. It's kind of a crazy rabbit hole to go down. When Tupac was alive, he had beef with Dan Quayle. Well, yeah, Dan Quayle hated him, I remember that when we were kids. I mean, there was big, issues with gangster rap music and politicians fighting against it. And, I think it was it 2 Live Crew that got the parental advisory thing? I'll never forget. I probably told you guys this story before, but for some of you that might not have heard it, my cousin Nico came over. She's like 4 years or 5 years older than me. So, she comes over to my house for a family party, and she brought her 2 Live Crew tape with her. And we're sitting there listening to it, and we're like cracking up. I had no fucking idea at that time what horny meant. And that song, "Oh, me so horny." And me and my brother were sitting there fucking cracking up, right? So she left it at my house. Oh shit. She left it there. So me and my brother were down in the basement listening to it, and we were fucking cracking up. I don't know if my brother knew. I had no fucking idea what any of the shit meant. I mean, I used to love Tupac. I was probably in like third grade or some shit when his first album came out, and I'm like sitting, I'm singing, I get around. I didn't know what he meant. I thought he just meant like he gets around the town. I didn't know he meant like he fucking sleeps with all these chicks and shit. I didn't know what the fuck he meant. So anyway, we're sitting down there laughing. My mom comes downstairs to do laundry, and she's like, "What the fuck are you listening to?" And she picks up the Two Live Crew tape and she starts looking at it. First of all, if you know what the album cover looked like, there was all like these women's like asses and then legs. Fucking my mom's like, "What the fuck is this?" I don't remember the names of the tracks, but she's looking at the tracks, and then I don't know if you guys remember, I'm sure you do, but if you grew up at the time, remember you used to be able to pull out the lyrics, like some of the tapes would have the lyrics and shit on the little insert. She like looks at, she's like, "What the fuck is this?" She flips out. My mom, I have to say, love her to death, but she was definitely like a prude. Like she was like she fucking hated Howard Stern. She hated Madonna. Like she thought Madonna was like disgusting. Like meanwhile, my whole family like loved Madonna. She thought Prince was horrible. Like anybody who is like sexual in any way, my mom was like, "They're the fucking devil." Like she was like not about that life. And I'm not either. I'm not like into like overly sexualized shit, but it doesn't bother me on the level that I think it used to bother her. She was definitely like very conservative when it came to that shit. So she flips the fuck out. She calls my aunt. My cousin gets grounded because she wasn't supposed to have that Two Live Crew tape. And my mom totally ratted her out. She's like, "Do you hear what's on this thing?" My aunt's like, "No, I didn't know." So then I'll never forget this. We go to like this record store near my house, and I wanted to get my fucking Boys to Men. That's all I wanted was my Boys to Men. I forgot which song was that year. I don't know if it was like The End of the Road or some shit, whatever Boys to Men. I just wanted to get the album, but my mom was always cheap, so I always had to buy the singles. She'd be like, "Just buy the song that you want." So I'd got like the single that had like one song on it, tape for like $1.99. So I'm in the store, and this little boy who was probably like either my age or a year older than me, he's at the counter with the mom's buying him the Two Live Crew tape. And my mom I remember I was so embarrassed. My mom's like, she couldn't help herself. Like she just could not fucking mind her own business. Sometimes my mom, she couldn't fucking help herself. She had to tell the mom, "Do you know what's on that tape?" And I was like, "Oh, my mom just fucked this kid's whole like day up." Like he was probably so excited, this little boy that he gets to like have this little tape with women's asses on it and like go home and like listen to it. My mom fucked his whole day up. She's like, "Do you know what's on that?" And the mom starts flipping out on the kid. "Are you kidding me?" She's screaming at him in the store. I like walk into the hallway, like, "I don't know this lady. I don't know her." It's like, I don't know her. Oh man. Yeah. So she ruined that kid's day. That kid probably had like probably still remembers that shit. This random woman in fucking Sam Goody's ruining his life. He couldn't get Two Live Crew, his tape. But I think their tape was the one who started the censorship label. I think. I used to make fun of my girl cousin for like a New Kids on the Block until she got her crew and I ran. Yeah, that shit was bad, dude. It was bad. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think music influences young youth, like definitely. I mean, there's no question. Like me and my friends thought we were fucking gangsters. Meanwhile, we were not at all. We were white kids in a middle class neighborhood. Like, we did nothing gang related at all, except maybe, my friends sold some weed and shit, but everybody thought they were so fucking cool back then. It's a little different nowadays, but yeah, that shit was bad. But like Tupac, I don't know. I love Tupac ever since he came out. It really was Bowser. I went astray in 8th grade. I listened to hip hop my whole life. Honestly, like ever since like I was a kid, my cousin gave me a Cypress Hill tape that he made for me, and like I was hooked. I loved any type of hip hop. I wasn't into the Beastie Boys though that much. I don't know. That was kind of like I don't know. I felt like they were like more of like a fusion of like rock, rap. Like I don't know. I just never got too into them. But like I loved all that shit. LL Cool J, you know. And then when I got older, I like Naughty by Nature and what do you call it? Whatever. Queen Latifah, you know. And I always loved R&B too. Salt and Pepper, whatever. TLC. But yeah, when I went through a little phase in like 8th grade where I got into like alternative music, but like I never loved it as much as I loved rap music. Like I went through like a little phase where I like Bush and like Nirvana and shit, but like I never got as like hardcore into it. Like I always went back to listening to rap. I mean, it was like a very short-lived phase that I was like, oh fuck rap music, you know. But then I went right back to it in 9th grade, and I still listen to it. My 90s hip hop. I don't fucking care. I don't care who likes it and who don't. Half the rappers now are liars. They're all liars. Fucking Rick Ross. Come on, dude. Uh, if you guys are not following 50 Cent on Instagram, though, I highly suggest you do, because his fucking trolling of Diddy right now is just, I'm living for it. I am so living for 50 Cent's trolling of Diddy right now. It's like, it's fucking amazing. Oh my God. He puts up the funniest shit. You know, it's funny because I was following 50 Cent and then I unfollowed him for some reason. I don't remember why. I think I was just getting sick. I think it was when he was fighting with Floyd Mayweather. Is that his name? And I was like, oh, I'm just sick of seeing this shit. And I unfollowed him, but I am living for his trolling. I have like a love-hate relationship with 50 Cent because I really don't care all that much for him and his music. But like, I feel like he kind of ruined rap. Like, I don't know. He's got some good shit. I don't know. I don't know why he blew up as big as he did, because I really don't think he's like that great of a rapper. But I think it was his story, his whole story where, you know, he got shot and all that shit. I don't know. But he is the internet's biggest troll. He's funny. I can't, you know, you can't deny that. He's like, he fucking trolls the shit out of people. House of Pain. Oh, I loved House of Pain. That was another good one back in the day. I just wonder to myself, where would Tupac and Biggie be, right? At this date, like Snoop Dogg, I feel like probably one of the longest running rappers of our time, where like he stayed relevant for a pretty long period of time. Snoop Dogg. I don't know of any other rappers that really, you know, like I don't think it's something that you get into for the longevity. Like, would people love Tupac as much if he didn't die? I don't know. 50 song with DMX is fire. Shot down. Which one is that? 50 and DMX. I can't even think of the song that is. Officer Ricky by 50 Cent. I mean, I don't hate his music. I just like, it's not, he's definitely not in my top favorites there. Fitty. But I do enjoy his fucking trolling of Diddy. That shit's fucking hilarious. You can't deny it. Don't forget to take pics during the eclipse. It could damage the heat sensor in your phone. Oh, don't take pictures. Okay. It could damage the heat sensor in your phone. Oh shit. Well, I won't be taking pictures. Was there not an eclipse in like 2018 or something? I don't know. I feel like there was one like recently. And they're always like, oh, there hasn't been one in, you know, X amount of years. How the fuck did this? Oh shit! Earthquake damage! Holy shit. I'm in my room and I'm like, why is my candlestick on the floor? It must have fell off the shelf during the earthquake. Holy shit. My whole thing fell down up there. Oh shit, look at that. I got earthquake damage. I better call my insurance company. I can't believe there's been 2 earthquakes in my life on Long Island, because we don't have earthquakes here because we're on sand. There's no fault lines, I don't think, by Long Island. But it was like 2000, maybe 10, or 8 or some shit like that. And I was working at this place that was right by my mom's house. And I went out to lunch and I came back and I go back to like the office and everybody's like standing there like it was just weird. Like, normally I go back in the office and everybody's like sitting at their desks, like just chilling. And I get back to my office and I'm like, what the fuck? Everybody's like standing in the middle of the office, like with this look on their faces. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what happened? And everybody's like, you didn't feel that? I'm like, feel what? They're like, there was an earthquake. I'm like, shut up. I thought they were like punking me because I was like, we don't have earthquakes on Long Island. Like, what are you talking about? Just like we don't have what do you call it? Uh like tornadoes here, really. And now we do, but we never did. Not when I was a kid. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm like, there was no way there was an earthquake. You guys are totally lying. Like, I really thought they were joking with me because I was like, I never heard of such a thing of an earthquake being on Long Island. They're like, the whole building was shaking. I'm like, stop it. And sure enough, they were right. They weren't lying to me. And I'm like, damn it. I'm like, I was in the car, so I didn't feel it. I was driving. Oh, shit. I left my door open. I was driving back from lunch. So like I was in the car. I totally missed the earthquake. I'm like, are you kidding me? And then this time we have another earthquake. And who knows, it might be the only one in my life, for the rest of my life. Because they're so rare here. And I was in Pennsylvania. Didn't feel it. Like I want to know what it feels like. It's got to be kind of scary to just be standing there and all of a sudden everything like starts shaking in the house. Like what the fuck? But I never got to feel one. So I have no idea. The 2 times in my 43 years on Earth that there's been an earthquake, I haven't felt either one of them. I don't even know what I would have done. Like I would have been like, what the fuck? I don't know. We don't deal with earthquake and tornadoes in Buffalo area, but we are on a fault line. Oh, really? Being in the ocean while there's an earthquake is the strangest sensation. Oh my God, I can't even imagine that. Well, you guys have them all the time out in Cali. Like you're used to them. The scary thing is like the building, like my husband was saying the other day, the buildings here are not really, um, you know, they're not really equipped to handle earthquakes because we don't get them. Dude, the eclipse is not going to be able to see because there's a huge fucking cloud over the sky right now. So that kind of sucks. We have them here, but don't feel them. Really? This fucking cloud better move. Hyping up this damn eclipse. And now there's a big old cloud in front of the sun. That sucks. My kid's going to be at school. Like, what the fuck? No earthquakes here in Georgia. Yeah, but you guys got tornadoes, no? That shit, I wouldn't be. Tornadoes, no thank you. I don't know how you people live with that because those shits are unpredictable. You never know when they're going to come. So mad, it's complete overcast. Yeah, and you're in like the best place to see it, Novemberine, aren't you? You're on like there's like a line that goes up. I don't know. And I know it. I remember it cut through New York, like northern New York, I guess, right? Yeah, the hurricanes we have here too. We get hurricanes. Like honestly, we usually by time they reach us, normally they're not bad. They're usually turned into tropical storms. I mean, we've had quite a few, but the worst obviously being Sandy and Gloria, Hurricane Gloria. I remember Gloria when I was a kid. I was young. It was like 83. So I was only like a couple of years old. And I remember that. But Sandy was like a rare occurrence, the way that it all came together because it was like a super storm. It was like a bunch of storms kind of merged together with a hurricane. And that's why Sandy was so bad. But typically by time they reach us going up the coast, like they turn into tropical storms. And it's so funny. You see all the memes on like Facebook. People are like, I saw, I survived the hurricane, and there's like a lawn chair that's just like tipped over. It's like, oh my God. Like we don't get them like Florida. I don't know if I can live down there, man. They get a lot of hurricanes. That shit would scare me. Florida's already halfway underwater. It looks weird outside. It's probably hitting you guys first because we're what do you call it? After you guys. I think. I don't know. I don't know how all this shit works. I just remember my mom telling me about, you know what the scary thing is, the next time my son's like, "Oh, the next time there's going to be an eclipse." I'm like, "I'm going to be dead." like that's kind of like sad to think, you know? Like he might be alive. I'll definitely won't be by that time. I was like, that was depressing to think about. I was in Hurricane Andrew. That was a bad one, right? When I lived in Texas, we had hurricanes. They get hurricanes in Texas? Really? I guess so, right? You never think of Texas like having beaches. I swear to God, like that's just not something. But I remember watching. Remember they used to have like all those travel shows. I don't know if they still have them. I don't really watch TV all that much, but they had like all those like travel shows on like E. Is E even a thing? Is that even like a network anymore? I don't even know. Um, and and they were showing the beaches and excuse me in Texas on the Gulf side, and I was like, oh my God. I'm like, they're beautiful. Like, it's just not a place, I guess, because it's such a big state. There's so much other shit going on. You don't, you're not like going there for the beach. But apparently there's some like gorgeous beaches in Texas. Like, who would think? Southern Miami. What is that? 32424. What does that mean? Houston gets hit pretty often. Well, I guess so if you're in the Gulf. Yeah, that makes sense. It comes up off the Gulf. Maximum eclipse is 323. Oh, all right. Well, that makes sense. Because my son, I hope my son listens to the teachers. I told him a million times, I'm like worried about his eyes. Like, I'm like, dude, do not look at the sun without those glasses on, dude. Like, I'm like, I don't know, I'm a little nervous because he's watching it with the school. And I'm like, how is the teacher going to make sure every kid keeps those glasses on? I don't want him to burn his fucking retinas out. Our Texas beaches are, oh, Casey, if you come here, you want to see shit beaches, come to Long Island. They're horrible. First of all, they're so small because they're like washed away. I remember we went down to Florida a couple of years ago and I was like, wow, this is a beach. Like when you go to the beaches here, you're like literally sitting on top of people because they're so fucking crowded and tiny and they just keep getting smaller and smaller because they're like, well, the erosion. But yeah, they suck. They absolutely suck. Dead fish, brown water in Texas. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, I just see clouds. That is total eclipse on 323. All right, I better go. I gotta go find my husband. Well, he's home, but I gotta go ask him to get his welding shield set up for me so I don't burn my eyeballs out. Anyway, all right, it was lovely talking to you guys again. Be careful out there if you guys are viewing the eclipse. Just make sure, again, if your husband has a welding helmet, make sure it's 12 and above. 12. But don't burn your eyes out, okay? You guys want to save your eyes. Make sure. And I will see you guys sometime this week. I'm sure I'll be back. All right. I'll see you guys in the next one. All right. Peace.